take any deeper now. I gave you all I own, put you on this golden throne, but I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now. Too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now.
Turn it on. We about to turn it on. We about to turn it up.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong, and I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again.
we are live.
Welcome, everyone, to Dire Bear Adventuring Company's Science Fiction Wednesday night with Alone in the Void. I am your GM, Captain Shack, aka Heath, and many other names that I go by, particularly the Dire Bear GM. You can find us, if you're watching this, or tell a friend to tune in to twitch.tv/DireBearGM. We're also on YouTube under Dire Bear Adventuring Company. Let's see. Wow. A lot to process last week. They did a reset to save the colonist, which was successful. Reminding themselves by giving the computer a lot of reminders of what to do. Basically saying, hey, when we come out of the cryo, tell us these things, remind us of these things. The reset was successful. The missing colonists that were disposed of to help simulate the missing life or failing life support were restored to their cryo tubes. The party reminded themselves to check the crate, the mysterious crate, down in the hold of the ship. And that is where we left off, with them prying the top of the crate off and then unlocking the magnetic lock. They lifted the lid to see. Before we really dive in, we're going to start by saying hello and welcome to Tane, being played by Atlas, who is currently cameraless due to a technical thing.
Actually, it's just Atlas today. Tane got lost in a Walmart, so it's just me.
It's just Atlas.
Yeah.
Tane is Atlas. Atlas is Tane.
We are one and the same.
We are all one. We are Hive Mind. We have Maddie, who is being played by Nara. Skippy, who is being played by Jason. Quentin, being played by V. And Maine, who is being played by Pelka. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for being with me tonight. Our captain is, as usual, just running a bit behind. We'll be here with us shortly.
Oh, Captain, our captain.
That's correct. The real nature of someone was revealed last week before a reset. However, post the reset, that information is once again swallowed up. Who was it that went down to check the crate? Was it the entire party, or was it just the ensign?
It was the captain and Nain, I believe.
Yep.
Captain
I was watching them on the camera, so I saw the captain's meltdown when Nain went up to get the tools.
All right. Can't hear you, Palka. I'm not sure if you said anything.
Oh.
There you are.
I made a sassy joke, and it's too late for it now.
It just wouldn't hold the thing, would it?
Quick, everyone rewind so we can hear Pelka's good joke.
All right, loop again.
We'll have to loop back this entire episode, starting with.
Dang it. Brr, 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 brr. And you all wake up and the episode is restarted.
We just restart the entire thing back to episode 1. Realizing now that I did not edit the stream. I'm with it today. Let me tell you. All right. There we go. All right. Now, the lid of the crate is off. You hear the familiar click and ding of the mag as it releases. You raise the lid. The camera angle that you're watching doesn't show you what's inside the crate. You can see the lid being opened up. As you look inside, you and the captain both. Kind of a chill runs down your back. What's really in the box? This whole time, the iterations not knowing one to the next. Only speculation being shown. Therefore, leading you to believe that one time it was mounds of cocaine and rifles, as though you were Space Montana flying through looking like you're going to set it up on a table saying, look at me now, Mom, on top of the world. The next time it opened, though, it was pills, tablets, Percocet, OxyContin, Vicodins. It was open another time to find nanites and bars. As you open it this time, there are bottles, jars, if you will. They're made out of plastic. They have very simple labels on them. As you look at them and shake them, you see that they're spices or seasonings or something like that. Shouldn't be in a contraband. But as you look through them, you see that some of the names on them, they're items. They are stuff that's been restricted, not due to any sort of potential harm to any human, but more because it's super expensive. Because the plant that they came from is starting to die out. Special growers have this. And it's a high commodity. On a scale of what would endanger someone, it's super low. But looking through here, there's probably, by Earth credit terms, a few $100,000 worth of rare samplings. The one that takes you most by surprise is a single bottle about that tall. The inside of it is coated in yellow as you shake it, and you see that it's saffron, which hasn't been seen on the planet side for several years.
Aw, Captain couldn't live without a little bit of seasoning.
Captain didn't know what was in the box.
Oh, well, true. Aw, the new colony couldn't deal with unseasoned chicken.
We have a very rich foodie on board.
We have the Colonel Sanders himself.
Captain Sanders.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He hasn't been promoted yet. You give a little chuckle as you realize this dangerous object the whole time that you thought, speculation being whatever could it be, it's innocuous, really. The larger crime here is the fact that something was smuggled on board, not even what the product was inside.
They threatened to hurt the captain's family over this?
They threatened to hurt the captain's family over smuggling. They never told the captain what was in there, nor did they give the captain the code to it.
Yeah, the captain's family was like in trouble from debts for other stuff, right?
Correct.
Yeah, this was just paying it off.
They're
Oh,
just
fair
paying
enough.
off the debt that they owed.
You
So-
better put this spice rack on that ship of yours, or you're never gonna see little Susie ever
I've got it.
again.
I've got a
You've never
complete
seen Susie
collection.
again either way.
I've got a complete collection of pensies that I need to put into space.
Listen, pal, I need my paprika.
This is the good Russian smoked paprika. We don't joke about this.
You can only get this from the deli down the street.
And that deli's been closed for 20 years.
No.
Now 140.
It's just Bill's grandma who makes it.
These are fresh
At least-
peppercorns. You
Oh
have
my
to have the
God.
right kind of mill set with the right kind of grind on there. You don't want
It's a
to
very specific science.
very white peppercorn that you can't find anymore in this region.
You heard
Crushed
about this
red
from the Big
pepper.
Ma, right?
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
Captain, if you don't do this, your food's gonna be bland forever.
No, I've got salt. You. Oh,
Never mind, you're white, you'd never get it.
salt is not a seasoning.
Well, it's a seasoning. It's not a spice.
There you go. It's not a
Yeah,
spice.
yeah.
Salt is not a spice. So, all of this worry, and you feel the laughter bubble up, much as it is the tenseness in the area of the players. You feel this laugh bubble up in your throat, and you can't contain it. You burst out laughing at the idea that this is what's in the box the whole time.
We've gone this far with science fiction spices and haven't even mentioned Dune.
Oh.
I'm trying not to because it's not that kind of spice.
Oh, I figured. I'm not about to
There's
ascend,
nothing-
but
Well, that's what you see on the surface. You don't know digging further. There might be some other things in there, but at least what you can see on the surface are arrangements of different. And again, like I said, these are like extremely rare, hard to get. Some of them even are thought to have died out. You can't find this anymore. You know, that kind of thing.
Illicit spices.
Like I said, the saffron has died out as far as planet side is concerned. But like I said, there are other things in there that are just can't get them anymore, can't find them, especially if you're going to another planet.
wait, yeah, this is just the spices.
It's what you see on the surface. You can see it's in a removable like tray that you can take out and look underneath.
Okay, I want to look underneath.
All right. You lift it out and you see several. It's pretty deep. Well, I say pretty deep. It's about that deep. And you lift it out. So it's like maybe 4 inches deep. And you lift it out. You can see underneath there, stacked up in like cellophane to preserve it, flash sealed. You see several plants, or like the leaves of different plants that are.
Okay, that makes sense.
Fucking ecologist smugglers.
And you have that one is probably. It looks like it's in a tray that pulls out as well.
So this looks fine, I guess.
You don't know what the plants are.
Yeah. I guess we gotta look into them eventually, but I mean, it's not explosives or guns.
It's true.
So,
Not that you would remember that because you.
true. Very true. Huh. So, I guess I'll Okay. I want to take like one of each plant, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
In packages, just like so I can
Okay.
take them to the computer and just double check what they are.
Sure, you can do that. They're easily lifted out.
I will do that then.
So you take a couple of the packages with you.
Yeah.
Again, this tray looks like it removes.
So probably just take the tray then.
Okay, so you just take the tray out. Tray is probably about, I'd say about 6 inches deep.
All right.
And again, it's a big square, because it fills the entirety of it. So it's a big tray. You can lift it out because it doesn't weigh a ton, but it'd be kind of awkward to carry through the ship.
Okay, is the captain with me? Can I just have the captain carry it with me?
Sure, captain's right there with you, having a minor panic attack until they realize that they're
Hey, look, it's
in the box.
fine. Ish, captain.
Spices and some kind of plants. And as you lift that tray off, you see another tray in the bottom underneath. They look like pill bottles that are translucent. And they have not a label, but an actual chemical composition, complete with the proper carbon rings. So you know how you have hydrocarbon and fluorocarbon rings. So it's like your carbon is in the center, then you have the proper hydrogen out, or nitrogen or oxygen in the proper array, but it's set up using the proper chemical layout or formulaic layout.
Yes.
So it'll be like, H12 H12O8C6 or something along those lines. And there's a chemist out here who's watching, who's gonna be like, "That's not how it's done.
That's
Leave
stupid.
me alone."
Space.
It's fake science, okay? Just let us live.
Pseudoscience,
Star
not even
Trek
pseudoscience.
science.
But you can see that there are several of these, and they all have different. Some of them have the same, but they all have other, compositions made out. Most of them are powder. As you shake, you can look and see there's a kind of a powdery residue. There are some that are liquid, but most of them are in powder.
Presumably, I would know what these are or have an idea looking at them.
Maybe your doctor would probably be more
True.
with it because you are more electronics and engineering, that side of science, physics, things like that. Chemistry, you always hated it because math is exact. Chemistry it works this way every time. 7 rules.
Yep.
And then it's anybody's guess.
I've personally never taken a chemistry class, so I was like, tell me my character knows, because I don't.
See this right here? He's pointing at himself right now. This guy has taken more chemistry classes than he cares to. And that's the reason why, as soon as I didn't have to, I put all of that shit out of my head again.
Figured.
All right. So let's go over to the intercom.
Okay.
Beep up to the doctor. Beep.
You hit the intercom. It rings into the medical bay.
I'm not going to Quentin it.
Just it keeps opening and closing the mic.
Help!
No, he's not. Just Quentin, one time. Just push the button once. Push one.
Just
What?
one.
What? How does this work? All right.
I'll get it
Hey,
eventually.
Doc.
Mm-hmm.
So we open the crate down here, and there's it's mostly so far just plants and like spices, but There's also underneath. There's some like pill bottles with like chemical designations on them, and you would know better than I what's going on in there. You can come down and take a gander. So, because I just want to make sure we know what else in here. Beep.
The little beep.
It's like saying over into a
Over.
Instead of saying over, he literally goes beep. Let's go. Okay. He hits it again. Oh, that was your cue. Oh, wait. Beep.
All right, I'm on my way down.
All right. It takes you a few minutes to get down there. In that time while you're waiting, are you gonna lift any more? Are you gonna lift this out? Because it is another tray.
Trays upon trays upon trays.
So many spices.
Très bien.
Stop it.
No.
Okay. You don't have to. Lifting this tray out, you see set on their bottom so that you're looking at the top of them are glass jars. Once again, on the top of the glass jars, you see more labels. Some of these you actually kind of recognize. They're basic, but they're a basic chemical compound. Some of them are acids, some of them are bases. And you recognize them as they're sitting in jars. This one is probably about a foot deep. And it's pretty heavy. Trying to grab the sides of it, you realize it's pretty hefty set in there.
What if this box contains all the elements necessary for human transmutation and also spices, so we can create the Spice Girls?
God fucking damn it!
Ejected into space now.
Just the whole crate shoved to the back.
We're bringing them back, boys!
As you close the box, you just pour everything into the box, and there's a really kind of macabre sounding. I'll tell you.
Bring it back! Bring it back! He's my only icon! Bring it back!
All right. So, you lifting that crate out? There is yet one more. It looks like
More crates.
mm-hmm.
Well, trays.
Tray. Yeah.
We gotta go deeper.
All right.
Hi,
Being
this
the
is Maine.
captain's assistant, you reach in and you grab
Jackass.
the tray,
Welcome.
lifting it out. You can now see that you are at the bottom, and this one is pretty deep. Looks like it goes the rest of the way down, and you see blocks of cellophane wrapped packages. You see bags of what appear to be tablets or pills or things like that.
Filled with what were there?
You see blocks of cellophane wrapped material,
Material.
like blocks of it or bricks of it.
Hmm.
And you also see bags or packages that seem to be filled with tablets, pills, things like that.
Nervous laughter.
The big bag has smaller bags inside of it.
Let's open them up, I guess, and pick one up and
Lick it to see what it is.
it's wrapped. We're gonna open it up before we taste it.
Well, again, there's two different objects. There's the brick, and then there's the bags.
Pretty good
Go
rule
with
of
the
thumb.
bags. Bags.
All right, taking up one of the bags, you can see there are it's a larger like gallon bag or quart bag, I mean, and you can see that inside of it are smaller bags, individualized packages of tape. Or not tape, individual packets of like different pills.
More pills. Huh. Wow.
And as you look there, this goes from, you're pretty deep into the crate now, but it goes all the way to the rest of the bottom. And no, you have no idea what they are.
Would I have a device in my office or wherever where I could just sort of figure out what the pill actually in the pill without having to ingest it?
Have I arrived by this point?
Yep, you're walking in as he's looking at this. In your office, no, you would not. The only person that might have something that would help you identify what it is would be the medical officer.
It's called her tongue.
I got that covered.
And that's being clipped. You have something that can identify it? The only person that has something that can identify it would be the medical officer. And that's her tongue. All right. The medical officer would have like medical journals, or as someone who's worked with nurses, there's a book that has like the description, the icons, and the things that will identify pills at a glance.
Ye old monogram book.
Yeah, that book that's like that thick and like it's just this huge manual.
All right, so Nara just walked in.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna Nara, do you know what this is? And just toss it to her right away.
Smacks her right in the face as she walks in.
I don't think it's that heavy.
What, the pills?
It'd be a.
Arm or your regular.
I guess I don't know how big of a bag, but I was thinking like a little baggie.
Are you taking one of the small bags out of the bigger bag? You have a big bag, like a quart-sized bag.
And I don't know what a quart-sized bag means at all, but
what are you, Canadian?
Yeah.
What?
Have you seen the freezer bags?
The freezer bags?
Like would you take like a
Ziploc
sandwich bag, but the bigger ones?
Okay.
Is that what we're talking?
Are you familiar with like resealable bags, like Ziploc
Yes.
or anything? Okay.
Would it be like
So
this?
they have different sizes. Snack, which is like that big, and then sandwich bag, which is your typical sandwich size. Then you have gallon, which are bigger than that, and then you have freezer bags or quart bags, which are like huge.
Big
Never
ones.
encountered these in the wild.
It's what your grandma or mom would have put leftovers in from holiday meals, like the
We
biggest
just put them in
size.
Tupperware.
You shush up. Sometimes you have liquids and you don't want to put those in good Tupperware.
Yeah, we just everything just goes into the Tupperware equivalent.
It's like I can't tell you because it's something that we do. We put peas in them to freeze them and things like that. So
Oh, okay.
But
Well, yeah.
it's gigantic.
So I don't know, sandwich bag equivalent like that. That's the size of. I didn't want to throw it like I don't want to throw a whole gallon bag of pills.
Yeah,
at
you
her.
don't want to throw this great big bag at her, but you open it up and you can take one of the small ones out. It's
Like it purposely,
probably
like
like
it's not trying to injure her. Just like,
probably
hey,
like
you know
that
what this
big.
is? All right, yeah.
And you have a small pouch of pills tossed at you. Right offhand, you can try to give me a medicine check. You don't have anything that would help clue you in, so you're gonna be at a -1 for your check.
Hey, you medical wench! Tell me what these are.
Because I'm pretty sure you haven't memorized the whole entire book that has every pill in it. Doesn't matter. Still gets a masterful roll.
Ha!
As
Just that good, baby.
As you grab
No,
it,
I'm
you
a
can.
drug addict. Come on now.
Yeah, I was about to say you take one away, but you should have given a bonus for her dependency.
Yeah, so it balances out. You oh well, these aren't my drug of choice. You grab
Not
the
my
bag.
thing, but
It's
I
had
a
a
small
friend.
white tablet, oblong. You recognize the stamp in the pill itself. Yeah. Welcome to Percocet land.
Sounds like the worst amusement park ever.
It's just everybody
It's just
down.
one big blur, or you don't remember anything.
They don't even need roller coasters. They just sit you down on a bench and show you some different colored pieces of paper.
She give you a drink, and then that's the whole park.
As you flip the tablet over, you can confirm there as it's stamped on the back of this one. Percocet.
So
It's like you could have
This is
just
a-
read.
Yeah.
this is a
Holds it up. It's right there.
this is a bag of Percocet.
There are some not diamond-shaped blue ones, but there are some blue ones in there as well. Because we all know the diamond-shaped blue ones are something extra special.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember what the diamond-shaped blue ones are.
Well, if your memory lasts for more than 4 hours,
Fair enough.
seek
Yep.
medical attention.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. I know that not because of. Anyways, moving on.
So, out of curiosity, why is there a bag of Percocet and Viagra?
That's not Viagra.
It's not Viagra.
It's not Viagra.
He doesn't know that.
I apologize. Carry on.
I mean, I certainly don't know. There was a box.
Nain, we found your personal stash. Don't try to act all.
We found a box and we didn't know what was in it, so I opened it.
Because that's
What else
you
would
did.
I do?
Leave it alone?
Have you met him?
Well,
Yeah,
how would
that's
we
not-
find out
that's
what's
not
in it?
very-
Anybody in this?
Why does it
That's
matter
not very
what's in the fucking
scientific.
box? We are not in that awful detective movie from back in 2000 whatever. Okay? We don't need to know what's in the fucking box.
But didn't we leave a message saying there was stuff in the box?
Yeah, there was
We-
a message about the nanobites.
We told ourselves what's in the box.
Nanites.
Nanites.
We asked ourselves to answer the question, what's in the box?
What's in the box?
We were the ones who asked what's in the box.
I understand that. However, if even the captain didn't have the proper codes to get into this box and didn't know exactly what was in the fucking box, you think maybe, just maybe, this came from orders higher up than her? I can't believe I have to tell you people this! You're all trained military professionals! I'm just a base brat!
Have you seen?
I've been recording all of this and putting in the evidence folder.
Listen, I don't want to be the one on the bad end of a government experimenting on people in space. Never
You
works
signed
out.
up for this! We're already experiments, Nane!
Look,
Well,
the fact that you're correct about that aside,
We are already experiments. We are part of a group of 6 that were just sent off into space to hope to God something happened.
that's
That didn't result in a fiery death.
that's pushing it. Like,
Yay!
we're heading towards a planet.
A planet.
Speaking of which, did Quentin re-correct our course?
Ask that again in a different way. Did he adjust it to...
Has Quentin adjusted our course as per the instructions we left?
Yes. That has occurred.
Now,
Yeah, because we watched ourselves enter, or we watched us enter that wormhole thing.
okay. Now, you didn't call me down here for a bag of Percocet.
I mean,
And other goodies.
there's other things in here that I don't know what they are.
And you can see laying around the floor outside of the crate, there are several different trays with obvious things and then some not so obvious things.
Nara's feeling a little bit sassy. Just a little bit.
You
Just
didn't
a
even
little
say that
bit.
loud.
And
That
then
felt like a
she's,
different thing?
Yeah, I think we all picked up on that.
she's gonna pick up one of the bottles of spice and just kind of show it and be like, "This is chili powder, Name."
Look, I know what that is. I don't use it, but I know what that is.
Philistine. I felt that was Pelka speaking that one. Next week, Nane can't be with us ever again.
Nane just spaces himself.
because Pelka thinks that salt is a spice.
But there's other
Okay.
pill bottles here.
I'm sorry. I have to have a little bit of fun amidst everything else that is going awry. What is it that you'd actually want me to look at?
The bottles.
And you can
There's a
see he's pointing out. Have you seen the large family-sized pill bottles for like aspirin or Tylenol or some other headache medicine, pain reliever? It's like the great big ones, you know. And I think she's leaning over to actually pull one out. Yep, one of those. However,
I am,
it is,
because I have a family-sized bottle of Tylenol.
they're like that, but where yours is solid, this one is like almost translucent. You can see like some of the product within.
The product within.
Sorry, we just see Maddie turning around and doing something.
Sorry, I'm like rolling around and I'm like rolling over my purse strap, so I wanted to get that up off the floor.
You can see that it's semi-transparent. Is like you can see a little bit of that. There's like a powder in one or some sort of liquid or nearly not quite solid. They each have a chemical composition written in very plain, neat script, but not printed and labeled, but like actually written on there on each one of the bottles. You recognize some of them, not everything, but a few of them do stand out to you.
Which ones?
You recognize some of them because of not what they are, but how they interact. One that particularly jumps out to you is diethylamide. Dithalamide. I'm sorry, I had to remind myself how to pronounce it.
Any version of that, and it would have been like, "Yep."
Dithalamide.
I would have been confused because I've taken chemistry classes.
More importantly, the other side of that, which is the lysergic acid. that when mixed with the diethylamide creates a very well-known subject in another form, or creates a known product, but it has a name that you, the players, don't recognize if I said lysergic acid diethylamide.
Is that like bleach or something?
Nope. It's a mind-altering substance.
Oh.
Developed in the 1940s as a truth serum.
Yeah, I knew I heard of it somewhere.
Well,
it is not a truth
letters are
serum.
all
It is not a
there.
truth serum, however, as we realize that it has much more recreational application and mind-altering stuff.
The letters
It is
are right
commonly
there.
referred to as LSD.
SD. Yeah, I was about to say, isn't that LSD?
Diethylamide. The letters
So-
are right there, people.
Dire Bear Adventuring Company, bringing to you more information. Learning, the more you know.
Don't do drugs, kids. Then you'll end up like
do
us.
drugs. Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad, okay.
Unless you need them.
Yes,
They
do
take
them
all of
then.
you. The compounds are kept separately in jars and different things. There's another one that you recognize, again, because of the composition that they make. Not the individual things kept separately, but mixing them together creates another.
Is it PCP?
No, it is not. It creates a methamphetamine.
Sexy.
There's a reason that they're kept separate, though.
They're too sexy.
Alright. I took nursing. I don't do drugs. So it's like I know the chemistry part of it, but like what this shit actually makes, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
Did it go boom?
Yes.
Does
The
it do a
process
boom?
of creating it requires it to be heated, and that composition with the actual heat can sometimes, if not carefully applied properly, cause explosions in redneck trailers.
Yeehaw!
So-
Crystal
My
meth.
language.
Yes. that is the meth in crystal meth is methamphetamine
Crap.
or speed or whatever you want to call it.
Power thirst is
I
crystal.
feel like Twitch is gonna like blur out half of this part of the show just because of
Whoa.
You can't talk about that on Twitch. It's banned.
yeah, I
Twitch,
know.
the
Okay,
place where
just
everything is good and wholesome.
Just so you know, we don't condone cooking of drugs.
I will say this much: Dire Bear Adventuring Company is a drug-free group. We
I mean, I
don't
take-
condone it.
I take
Note that some of the
Prozac.
material, some of the
Take
material that we deal with is of a mature nature. Viewer discretion is advised. That being said, there seems to be chemical compositions in here in different jars that, if you know how to mix them properly, could create substances that could be abused.
Damn, Colonel Sanders a freak.
Colonel Sanders a freak.
Nane,
Yes.
how familiar are you with recreational drug use?
You seem like the type.
Yeah,
Holding
right.
up, I would like to set the scene. Holding up these bottles, looking at them, you kind of look over at Name and go, holding these up. How familiar are you with recreational drug use? It seems like a loaded question.
Is
Would
that
you like
Is
to
that
be?
a question or an invitation?
Yeah.
It's a good time to do it.
Well, you know what? We're gonna talk about that second part later. But that first part,
Oh!
Oh shit! You gotta
um,
make a new folder in the evidence file there, Ensign.
You done goofed.
we have enough drugs here to create some very powerful and
Thanks.
very nasty illicit drugs.
So
We
not just
basically have a meth lab in this crate,
As well as other things.
spice.
along
We have
with
a meth-
other drugs.
All right. So we have a meth lab, and The ingredients for munchies. Okay.
Everything you could need.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think LSD gives you the munchies.
No.
It gives you the munchy monkeys in your brain eating your.
Last I checked, it made you want to peel your skin off.
Yeah, that.
If things go badly, yeah.
Yep.
If not, you have a walk on a higher state of understanding.
All right, so I guess we don't need to know what everything is right away. The important thing is, are there anything that we really need to make sure we keep separate? Because it'd be dangerous together.
It's already separated, so just don't mix it. So, none of your science bullshit.
Fair?
I catch you experimenting with these, and I'm going to whoop your ass.
Oof.
All business when it's business time. You will not find me experimenting with illicit drugs on duty.
Off duty's his own time. Luckily, his shift doesn't end for another, like, how many of our duty?
Yeah.
Luckily. No, all right. So that's good. We still got some plants here. I don't know what there are necessarily offhand, but I was gonna.
You
Can
are,
I
yeah. You.
take a crack at what they are?
I mean, at this point, I could guess what some of them probably are. But
we
again,
could always cross-reference them in the seed bank.
could do that.
You absolutely could.
That's a good idea. We should do that.
Captain, Nate and I will take care of this. Make sure everything winds up back in the crate appropriately.
Pocket some of the pills.
Secretly.
Don't you put actions in my hands?
Too late.
You're right. I wouldn't do that.
We'll make sure everything winds up back in the crate. We should make sure that we know exactly what's in this box. Create an inventory. We can handle that.
Okay.
All right. You take the plant and the rest of the stuff. Captain, what are you doing now that you've been not really dismissed, but explained that it's been taken care of?
Making a cup of tea, crying a little bit. Shit, I don't know. That's a lot of drugs.
A whole lot of drugs, man.
Oh, man.
V, I love your mug, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shit, I don't know. Go back to who? Whoa.
That's awesome.
Who is that?
Don't know.
Oh.
Are we talking about the Echo?
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be Jason.
What? Whoa.
What's that?
We're getting feedback from the.
Okay. Go back to the bridge. Again.
You make your way back to the bridge and you arrive. You sit down. The ensign is there. You watch them take all of these things out of the tray and set them down. Couldn't really make out what was there, but nothing really looked, off to you. It looked like a bunch of pill bottles, and you did see a bunch of, like a whole bag of what appears to be tablets or pills or something like that.
Well, pill bottles in a case that's not in a crate that's not in the manifest. Is
This would be concerning. Yes.
that's smuggling, regardless of what it is.
True.
So yeah, I'll go to the evidence folder on my little flash drive.
Okay. All right. You write down, you take note and add it to your thumb drive evidence file. Illicit materials contained within the container. Pill bottles.
Are Tana and Quentin still on the bridge?
You are.
Are we watching him do this?
Are you standing over my shoulder, or y'all at your own spots doing stuff?
I don't know. Yeah, were you doing it on the big screen or no? I mean, I don't know.
No, I'm sitting under the individual screen.
Never mind.
I'm still rolling around that big old invisible ball.
Oh yeah,
I was just like kicking it around and like drawing.
I'm like holding it for you while
yeah, that's right. You're copying the map off of the ball. So every once in a while, you watch as Quentin rolls something. It looks like some kind of weird pantomime. As he's just moving the ball around and then drawing a map.
Dance.
Yeah, it does look some kind of
with my little barefoot.
Like some kind of weird avant-garde dance thing that he's doing. all it's missing is like, strange music played by only one drum.
It's not even like smooth music either. It's like really unnecessarily dramatic. Boom, 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 boom.
Rolls the ball. Rolls the ball again.
Wow. How many like child leashes do I need for you guys?
Can we just talk about for a second how freaking anxiety inducing every episode leading up to this one has been, and this one we just all can't stop laughing.
Yeah, we're just like
my
idea. I want you to know that it briefly crossed my mind to be like, I would have to do all the experiments on the orb.
Actually, that's a good question. What are the bars?
They're not bars. They're like blocks of something that's wrapped in cellophane. You, Maddie, probably have a suspicion as to what they are.
Wonder what that is.
I'm pretty sure Nara probably knows exactly what that is without even having to open it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is some grade A cocaine. Delicious.
It's
just like
if there were a marketing scale for it, this would be grade A.
I give it an 80%.
I give it 2 snorts.
2 snorts out of 2.
All right, so would you like to inspect the cellophane brick even closer?
Yes.
It's tightly wound and packaged in underneath the clear cellophane. There is a brown cellophane that's wrapped underneath there, or some kind of packing material to keep it all encased. You can try to unwrap it, or if you have a penknife or something, you can slice it open.
What good doctor doesn't carry around a scalpel?
Most of them.
I was like, carry it around on them? Like, my general physician doesn't walk in and go, let me put my scalpel down and take out my...
Okay, not your general physician, but
clearly you haven't found a good general physician.
I've never seen my doctor walk into the room. All right, stethoscope, scalpel, pen light.
Just got it.
And I'm just sitting over there going, pen light, stethoscope, cool. Scalpel.
All right, breathe in, breathe out. All right, heart rate sounds good. Everything sounds good. All right, now I'm just gonna cut you open, check out a few
Let's just
things.
see how your blood's flowing. Slice. Hey, I need that in. I need that inside my body.
The doctor said you had internal bleeding. That's good, because that's where the blood's supposed to be, right?
Exactly. Can't you put a Band-Aid on that? I'm sorry, there are no inside Band-Aids. All right.
Anyway.
There is a set of stripping tools that you can probably fashion something out from Nane's tool set.
Okay. Then I'm going to cut into this block.
All right. You kind of open
Very
the
carefully.
stripping tool open and slice along that feedback.
That's bad.
You slice along and open it up. You can see a white powdery substance within.
Is that what I think it is?
Yeah.
I don't know. Take some, rub it on your gums. You tell me.
She's gonna put a little bit on her fingers. Not get it close enough to actually like inhale all of it, but give it at least a little bit of a sniff.
Funny, it doesn't have an odor, really.
Is that
It's
proper
cocaine.
procedure?
I mean, last time I checked, I don't know where.
You know what? I don't think we have a procedure for cocaine.
we really
so
don't.
That's fair.
The cocaine procedure.
Not only do we not have a procedure for cocaine, but I mean, science. So yeah, this is we have blocks of cocaine.
So that's a little more serious smuggling than paprika.
Fuck you, Satoshi Kon's hit movie is definitely worth being considered a good smuggler.
Oh gosh, that on LSD would fucking kill someone.
Implying that entire movie isn't just simulated LSD.
I apologize. The smell on it does have a smell to it. Slight smell. It's slightly sweet, little maybe somewhat floral almost.
Did you just Google what does cocaine smell like?
I don't know what you mean.
I have no idea what you are talking about.
So this is absolutely cocaine, and I'm not gonna explain why I know that.
I concur.
I mean, you didn't have to incriminate yourself. You could have just been like, "I'm a fucking doctor."
Jack, most
Because
doctors
so many
don't
doctors
know.
use cocaine in their procedures.
Yeah.
No, but they probably
they wouldn't be able to recognize a drug by its smell, especially not a street drug.
I've operated on so many cocaines before. I got this.
I'm not going to tell you how I know, but there's this one story. This guy who came in and he had some balloons, and they were in a very uncomfortable place. And anyways.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about, y'all.
And that's how the story ends.
But we should identify what these plants are. Easiest place to do that is the seed bank.
Yes.
At which point she is going to slide that little note over to Nane.
Okay.
Indeed.
All right. And you make your way down to the seed bank carrying a couple of samples of the different plant material. Or are you carrying the whole tray?
I will just carry the whole tray. There's two of us.
Yeah, it's not very heavy.
And
are you leaving?
We've cataloged what's there, and then put it back in.
All right. Excellent. Yeah, it all fits back in there. Closing the lid down, and it gives that as the lock re-engages. Taking the tray with you back up to the seed bank, you make your way there. While you guys are doing that, Quentin, Tane,
Booyah.
what are you doing? Quentin's moving the ball around and
I'm
writing.
I'm like standing on the other side of the ball, so it doesn't like shift while he's got his foot on it. So I'm like kind of keeping it
Just, like,
stable,
Kick it again.
so it doesn't like fall off and die or anything. I'm just sort of
Weirdest-
leaning on it.
This is the weirdest miming ever.
I'm just Tane's like
Like leaning.
Michael Jackson leaning backwards.
Yes, get that.
Yeah,
The one
really.
moment I just let go of the ball, it just slides.
Ah! Asshole.
Just
Tane like falls on his ass. Damn it!
the ball makes no sound, but he just kind of.
gone. Uh-oh, lost it!
Fuck you too, Q. Fuck you too.
Okay. Skippy, you watch as the last thing you see from the cargo hold is them leaving with a tray full of plant material. It looks like leaves and things like that.
I follow them on the cameras.
Okay. Do you follow what the note says? Names.
Yes.
Okay. You watch as they go down the hall and in the seed bank. Once you get into the seed bank, it gives you a message of no signal.
Do I see? Because he'd have to hit a monitor or, something, or a console or something
You see
somewhere.
him walk into the room and turn to look at the data pad that's on the inside wall. You watch as he works with something, and then the camera feed cut.
Prater, what happened to the camera feed?
The camera feed was disengaged.
Can you re-engage it from here?
Can't remember what voice we decided on last time.
We had gone back to the default, I think, by the end.
I think the last command was like Midwestern news reporter.
Yeah, so the camera feed was cut. Actually, you've reset and you haven't reacclimatized to it, so.
Yeah, acclimatization, please. New York.
Can you reestablish connection?
Matt Damon.
Just Matt Damon voice. I can't do it.
Not a Boston accent, just a Team America Matt Damon accent.
I can't. I refuse.
I'm not strong enough.
Please,
Matt
please wait.
Damon.
Unfortunately, the override has been entered. I'm unable to reestablish connection at this time.
All right, I'm higher ranking than Nane on the ship. Can I override his override?
Technically, yeah.
All right, I'll do that. I make an attempt to do that.
Okay.
I feel
Was that you
I
hacking?
feel like it's a case of he'd have to like try and hack it, which
Not if I've got the rank. It would just be turn that back on. Well, there's been this code override.
Yep. Yeah, you request it to be overridden using your own rank to pull it, and the camera kicks back on.
I
Foiled
want to
again
see
by my lack of
my
ambition.
little boy. Here he comes.
You see them standing there kind of shoulder to shoulder. They've got the tray sitting up on one of the tables that's in the back of the room. You can see basically like Nane's back and part of Nara's shoulder where the shelves go. They have them out on the table.
Can I zoom in enough to see what they are?
You can reposition enough, yeah.
Anything I recognize?
Give me a jack of all trades. Actually, give me a streetwise roll. I think you have streetwise, if I'm not mistaken.
I should. Just a straight roll? No
Yeah,
modifier?
just straight roll, no modifier. You people rolling well tonight. Yeah, you can make out what it is. You're familiar with this due to your involvement with some of the other law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are sealed and perfectly preserved, seed and stems all together.
Is it the marijuana?
It is the Mary J. Wanna.
That's not shocking though, considering what else is coming.
There's another one in there that you're not as familiar with because it's in a plant form. So yeah, that's what they have in there. As you guys compare it in the seed bank, what you have in front of you doesn't compare to anything else in the seed bank. Whatever else is in there is categorized, cataloged. The stuff in front of you doesn't match anything that's here in the seed bank. Do either of you have Streetwise? I think Name, you might.
Hello? Think work. My page won't let me scroll down.
Oh, did it like freeze on you? Mine's been doing that like all night.
Yeah, that's weird. Hold on, I will exit and come back. Roll 20.
I take that back. You do not have Streetwise.
Well, that would have been useful to know.
You, oddly enough, have gun combat though.
Hell yeah.
Trained military professional.
BattleBots.
Professional.
Use big air quotations there.
Again.
I don't even have Streetwise.
No.
However, I have
intentionally you don't have it. But look at your social, your ability score for social. What's your social at?
An 8.
Yeah. That's why your Streetwise isn't. Social is pretty much like a caste system. The higher the number, the higher ranking you are in society. The lower the number, the lower you are in society.
Oh.
Oh shit! I gotta check mine now.
So
I'm just like sitting here, like, I guess.
Captain,
Oh, yes, bitch,
the
I'm a
captain, if I'm not
bottom bitch.
mistaken, has the highest social with a 10.
Oh yeah.
Eat trust fund, baby.
Bougie bitch. Eat
Um,
the rich.
It's more that because you are a captain, your social standing is higher than others. You would be considered, like, if this were a fantasy realm, like a knight.
Y'all are peasants.
I've only got a 5.
Oh, that's even worse than mine.
I mean, you say that, but my intellect and my education are both at a 10.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, you can be a smart peasant.
No, Atlas, I'm pretty sure that ranks me among at least the nobles within the court.
Yeah, but this is space.
It wouldn't be a
That's okay, because who has the lowest one? Skippy.
Oh,
Really?
No, it's
Do
because
you-
he's a narc.
I'm recording you when you say that.
Keep in mind that
Please put this in the evidence folder.
it's not like a. Sometimes a lower social ranking is a good thing, especially if you are trying to be seen or unnoticed. Like say, somebody who was a marshal and playing a role as an ensign.
For a specific example, okay.
Not being known might be something that benefits.
I'm just not good with people.
Mood.
We know.
That
I just keep punching them.
I just keep looking at them like, ew, and then
Hi,
walking
welcome
away
to
really
Arby's.
fast.
Can I get you?
okay, we gotta take care of that echo.
What's going on with Maine? I've got a black camera for him.
Yeah.
You might need to reconnect. Maybe.
It's only him.
I have him just fine. His cam is on for me.
No, capstone. Look what you've done.
Now, being in the seed bank, would this not have a directory of plants that we can cross-reference what we have in the tray? Not necessarily what's on the ship, but like a full list to cross-reference these plants.
The problem is that no, they wouldn't catalog something that isn't on the ship, and it's not like it has a repository of knowledge for every plant that's on the Earth. It would only catalog the care, the proper soil treatment, the right temperature, and things like that for the plants that are here in the seed bank. So,
Okay.
I mean, they wouldn't have any reason to put anything else on there, because if you're going to an alien planet, they might not have marigolds. If marigolds are, on the ship, they would need to know how to properly care for them, things like that. So,
So we got nothing on these.
Okay. Well, we'll figure out what some of this is. I got a couple ideas of what some of it is.
All right.
Well, your most common greens, if it was in the level with everything else. The crate's full of drugs.
Seems like it.
So there's a good chance something in here is weed.
That's why you took it
Just going out on a limb here.
Just gonna go out on a limb. Another possibility is opium. Because that grows as a flower.
Maybe they're just for poppy seed muffins. Don't judge.
All right. Well, I don't. Now that we have an idea, I don't think there's anything else we can do with them for now. So, just
Might as well put
They're
them
not
back
growing.
and seal
They're
it back
well
up.
preserved.
lock them away up. Yeah, lock them up. Put them away for now.
If you guys get into an existential crisis again, hey, there's plenty of ways to alleviate your issue. And you're welcome. Okay? I haven't heard a thank you from anyone. This is what I got.
So, just out of curiosity, Nane, if you were hypothetically off duty, would you participate in recreational drug use?
It's for science, Name.
Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't believe anybody who tells me they go through the training that we go through and didn't do drugs at least once.
I don't think Quentin would. I'm gonna be honest. I think he'd be too
He's a good
nervous.
noodle.
Quentin didn't go for sciences.
Still,
You're telling
I
me
know.
that
Even-
astrogation isn't a science?
Even like
if anybody was science pros.
like medical science, you get students and whatnot popping Adderall.
Keep talking.
You telling me you pop Adderall on a regular basis, or Quentin? You're not even in here. Shut up.
I'm just
the
defending
asshole.
everybody.
There you go. Tane's the asshole that eats 4 edibles, says, I'm fine, and then
Fucking the Satan's coming out of his kneecaps.
See him again 4 days later.
I'm fine. Eyes go wide. Just, it's not even like projectiles. Just in his mind, it's rainbows. To everybody else, it's just sick.
he doesn't even realize
Valhalla.
he's...
Oh
He doesn't
god.
even realize they're edibles. He thinks they're normal brownies.
The next day, you find him. He's on the back of a monument, riding on the horse, just like, we're going to war.
Quentin's just like watching off in the distance, like that's where all those edible went.
Actually, more important, you walk up to him and go, yeah, you know those regular brownies, right? Okay.
What?
It's like Tane, sweetie. Just
Yeah,
come
I
down
know.
from there.
All right. You've collected evidence.
We have.
Yes.
We should put it away.
All right.
Nara is still very curious as to the answer to her
Drugs.
question.
Drugs? Drugs?
I am a man
Oh, no, we're good.
of science. So we should put these away.
Oh.
All right. So you go and put everything back in. You know what's there. Everything is closed and locked up once more. You replace the coverlet. And you return to the bridge, I will assume.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I want to go check out that orb.
All right. You go back up to the bridge. The captain, are you on the bridge or are you in your cabin? Making tea and try not to stress out.
I am on the bridge.
Okay. You watch as your medical officer and your science officer wander back onto the bridge. And the whole crew is now there. Hi.
Together
Hello.
once again.
Hello?
Oh,
Hey, everybody!
Mom's back.
How did it go?
Oh, snap. Mom's back.
Did you just call me Mom? No, I said thanks, bro. Do you see
No,
me
I
as
said
a parental
Mayor.
figure?
You know how you go by Mayor?
Mayor.
Do you see me as a parental figure, Quentin? No! If anything, or do you see me as a father figure, Quentin? No, if anything, I see you as a bother figure, because you're always bothering me.
Hey, don't talk to your father like that.
All right, kids, settle down.
I will turn this ship around, damn it.
Please do. It's terrible here. So
All right.
how did it go?
Whose crate was it?
Whoa.
Silent.
Not it!
Not it. Not me.
Oh,
that was the captain's, right? I think. Right, Captain? That was yours? What ended up being in there? What was it? Was it the nanites?
So,
It was
Captain,
not nanites.
unfortunately not nanites. Captain,
Sorry,
I
Captain.
have to ask, do you have a drug problem?
Because, we might be more similar than I thought. We
no,
could be
I
friends.
don't. Why? I don't like that line of questioning.
Because there was slabs of
Enough drugs to
cocaine.
explore the universe.
In 5 minutes.
There's chemicals in there to make LSD. There's chemicals in there to make methamphetamines.
Ah, shit, Captain knows how to potty.
There's
Cocaine.
Where were you 2 years ago?
let's see. There's also Percocet, some memory-altering drugs. You know.
Oh,
And
lot.
Lord knows,
roofies.
Lord knows what else. Plant-wise.
oh, God. Okay. Did you take note of everything?
I did.
Okay. We'll have to figure out what we want to do with it. For now, just make sure it stays in the same place.
So just making sure that it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't sprout legs and leave.
That's a whole
Hopefully
other
it
series
doesn't.
of shows.
Yeah,
So-
right.
My next question becomes, if we've corrected our course, if we have successfully rescued the missing passengers, then it may be time for us all to head back into our cryopods and allow the journey to continue. The problem has been solved. And anything notwithstanding, it's not our problem. And I understand that, no, sorry, scratch that. Sorry, that was a memory lapse thing that I almost looked up on.
It's like, wait, did we almost meta there?
I did. I almost metaed. I caught myself.
There'll be no metaing in this game.
I am doing my best to remember what she knows now from what she knew before. So, with that issue taken care of, then I think perhaps it is time for everybody to head back to our stasis pods.
You're probably right.
Don't we still have an invisible orb from outer space on ship?
Oh. I wanted an invisible jet.
We should figure what's up with that
Also, I politely refuse.
before going to sleep and letting it just hang out on the ship.
So you politely refuse what?
Going back to sleep because we are on a course that wasn't mapped in the first place. I would like it to see us through to the end of our destination in this path.
For 500 years, damn!
We have
It's ambitious.
Listen,
we
I
have
didn't map
a
this
very, You mapped it now. You've mapped it now. Your star charts have never been wrong up until now.
Now
It's not-
You
it's
don't
not
like
best.
that?
You are the best navigator Earth had. And you got put on this ship.
For once in my
Quentin?
life, I actually agree with Nara. She's right. You gotta relax. It's not a big deal. We'll be fine. Probably.
Sounds like shadow.
Ignore that last part. We'll definitely be fine.
Now, I'm not a science guy, but if we're in some kind of wormhole, is that going to speed us up any?
Everybody looks at Quentin.
It's
I don't know, is it?
Shall I rescue you, V?
It's like Michael Jordan. It's like Michael Jordan.
Maybe it's like Michael Jordan when
Yes.
he's going.
Yeah, he's
I'll bring it back,
fast.
Nate.
So it's like Michael Jordan.
You ask that question, and everybody watches as he starts moving something around with his foot, and then he stops and he goes, "Yes, it will."
This states correct. I just smudged my own glass.
This line here that you guys can't see, but that I'm
but I
pointing
can
to with
see.
my fingertips that I can
Actually,
see says yes.
Tana's
it
still
will.
holding it. Tana,
I'm like, I'm on the yeah. So I'm like,
Tana can
oh
see
yeah.
it. Tana, see this specific line?
Yes.
How much is it going to shorten the trip?
Not exactly sure what that means.
Now, if I do my calculations correctly, please talk to me in my brain.
Give me an astrogation check.
Okay, I can do that.
Please talk to me in my brain.
Because we were
Please
supposed
answer
to
my
be,
Saying that out
questions,
loud,
DM.
though.
we were supposed to be the sixth ship to
No
arrive. So we get
modifier
there
or yes
first. What
modifier?
happened?
No modifier?
Yeah, that's a good question. If we do get there
no, you
first,
have
what
the-
the
you
fuck
have the
do
map.
we do?
I'll
have a
give
party.
you a two modifier.
If we get there first, we have everything we need to set up a colony.
Do we, or do we just have the sixth part of what we need?
No, we have everything we need to start a colony. Each of the 6 ships would be representing a different town.
Okay, gotcha.
Each one of them represents its own individual. You have all of the materials to start building homes. The ship is modular, so the clinic.
In
will
game,
actually
Skippy
be-
probably knows that. Out of game, I wasn't sure if it was like that, or like how they theorize will put people on Mars by sending the equipment ahead in,
I have
increments.
really quick. I have an important question. Did we bring any like cryogenically preserved pets?
That's a good question, actually.
Are there cats on the ship, Cap?
Yeah,
dogs.
the question is, can I have a
I'm
dog?
not red dwarfing this. We're not going to have 500 years of evolution where the cat actually becomes a man.
Come on! I just want a dog.
I'm pretty
Tony's got the right
sure
mentality
you
for
can befriend some alien thing when we get to the planet.
Give us a dog.
How do we know it's gonna get? Wait, so the answer's no. We don't have any pets. You're telling me an entire ship full of human beings, the most social creatures on the planet, are going to completely usurp packing any kind of man's best friend at all?
Quentin's
They're gonna
crying
say,
and he doesn't
Yes.
lie now.
I mean, cats you'd probably leave at home, but surely they'd bring dogs.
Wow.
Didn't
I
someone
love-
sneak
I
their
love the
turbo on?
conviction.
No,
Well,
There's a pet
Well,
rat.
dogs are useful. Dogs have evolved with us for the last 10,000 years.
I haven't had a chance to say anything otherwise.
We're just
Yeah.
having a goddamn meltdown already.
Our animals.
Alien pets. Come on, it's the future.
There are
Quentin's crying
animals.
now. He doesn't know why.
There are animals. Okay.
There are animals.
Okay.
So shouldn't we have been disposing of them instead of passengers?
You know what? No, nobody say anything, because if we're still vague about it, we can just take that however we want. There are animals. All right, great. It's a vague notion that we can just do whatever with.
There's a reason why the animals weren't disposed of, and now you'll see that I use air quotes when I say animals.
No.
Oh no!
Oh.
The dogs.
I'm best.
We just have embryos where we can vat grow them? Okay.
Yep. So your dog right now is an egg waiting to be fertilized.
Well, that's something.
Right.
You're gonna start doing some gene splicing, but not knowing anything of what you're doing to make a.
I just want the biggest dog.
Sounds like what I do.
Okay, now
I
we've got
want a
spider
lizard
goats. I don't
dog.
know what happened.
Giraffe chihuahua. It's a
Did you say
chihuahua, but
spider
it has
goat?
a long neck like a giraffe.
This is how
Raffle
Avatar: The
Mama.
Last Airbender happened.
This is
Did you
honestly
say a
gonna end up like
spider
the
goat?
thing, and I don't
Spider
trust it.
That's one of the top 10 most scary images I've ever heard of in my life.
We're gonna turn around and there's just gonna be a spider goat on the ceiling. Get ready to fucking cry.
It just
Already
looks at
happened
you and
there.
goes,
Spider
"Ah!"
that the goats actually. Oh my god!
Okay, don't give
That's
him
the worst
ideas.
thing ever.
Can we please stop?
Holy
Never.
Quentin's already crying and he doesn't even know why now.
Like I feel really anxious suddenly.
All of a sudden, know what's happening.
It's
Just
just
like some little fuck just comes down a string when you're on a computer and right in front of you.
Is it like just tiny or like big?
pygmy goats.
You know, the
They're all
size
the
of
Nubian. The Nubians. They're like
Think how much
small.
soot they
So
could make.
disgusted. This is the worst
Coming out
thing
of the
ever.
vents, but like 80 of them.
Falls over the.
No,
You
they're
see
like the
two
size of a
feet and
cat.
it's peering over the short fence at you, and then you see two more feet
It, like,
and it starts to like
crawls
climb
over.
up.
No.
Over.
Can we just make like a bunch of velociraptors and just fucking let them loose on the ship at this point?
No!
Yes,
There's
absolutely.
there's several movies about why
As
that's
the
not a good
captain.
idea.
I say allow it.
Survival of the fittest.
This is not a
No.
Do I
Doctor
have
Who
to post-
episode with dinosaurs on a spaceship.
No,
I'm
no.
hiding
Do
in
I
the
have to
vents.
post Jeff Goldblum? Do I have to post Jeff Goldblum?
You
If
were so
anybody in this
concerned
whole
with
group-
if you could, you did not
Don't
think
make
of
me
if
tear
you
my shirt
should.
open.
If anybody in this entire group of players is going to be Jeff Goldblum, I think we all agree that it is Atlas.
Honestly,
Like,
I don't
Yeah.
think there's any question about that one.
No, no.
None.
Thank God.
I'm
And
just
the
personally
great
really
thing is-
excited about dinosaurs.
The great thing is that we all know which version of Jeff Goldblum it's going to
Laying
be.
on the table.
Mhm.
I was thinking more like a Grandmaster Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that's what I was.
I guess. I'm just on the topic of dinosaurs.
Oh, the second
I
died.
don't like that word. Okay, the prisoners with jobs have armed themselves.
I think it may have picked your camera mic up again, Jason. The echo is back there.
Echo. Echo.
So yeah, I'm
Why is
totally
it-
thinking Grandmaster.
Yeah.
That's the biggest compliment I've ever received.
Grandmaster Tane.
Grandmaster.
Grandmaster Tom.
Oh my God, make it happen, please.
Everybody
God.
cast
With
in
Quentin as
Norbert
Loki.
Got the paint.
Whoa,
The
whoa.
paint right here.
A very nervous Loki.
There we go.
V, I hate to tell you something. Loki is nothing but nervous and Ragnarok.
Ow. I will not play Get Help.
Let's do get help.
Get help.
Actually, to be honest, who could not throw Quentin on this ship except for Nara, probably?
Really, that's funny because I actually pictured Nara as
Actually, Nara could probably throw him. I wouldn't be surprised.
I feel
Everybody
like
could
Nan
just
would
be like,
the,
Topaz. You know, Grandmaster's right hand, the lady that's just like.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, hell
Nara
yeah.
is Topaz.
So does that make Marilyn the Valkyrie then?
who's Thor?
Nain. That's
No,
not even a
Nan is
question.
Bruce, if anything.
Yes!
Yeah. Oh God.
That leaves Skippy.
Skippy as Thor.
No,
Skippy
there
is
we go.
Thor.
That's not bad.
Jason,
That's a
you are
good
now
roll.
Chris Hemsworth. It's
But
canon.
see, I
Right,
feel like
right.
Skippy would definitely be Hulk, considering he's got a secret double life.
Oh, there's that too. Yeah.
No,
Ooh.
if he's anything, he's Carl Urbane's character. Surge.
That was a
Wow.
jacked up
What,
version.
is it Urbane?
What's that?
Urbane?
Yeah.
Who's the Rock dude?
Korg.
Korg.
Yes!
The best one. Oh, the ghost is gone.
The
I
best
love him.
character ever.
Korg.
Yeah.
Yes. I approve. It's canon.
Okay,
Alright.
back to our
Off
story
topic.
though.
Alright.
To space.
Yeah, what the fuck? We went on like the
Yeah.
longest tangent ever.
We're all in Thor
You were
Ragnarok
counting her
now.
off.
We
Spent half the
have
time everyone thinking I was Hela.
There you go.
That's true.
Oh.
The ship. The ship is just the evil sister now.
Kate Blanchett as Nain.
Okay, is
God,
Idris
focus.
Elba.
Who wouldn't want to be him, though?
Which I mean, right? Who really? Honestly.
He's such
Although
a good
off topic,
looking
one
dude.
more second here. I really do hope they cast him as the next Bond.
God, yes.
Same. Oh my
God,
god.
There's some talk of it. So
He
Ah.
All right.
deserves it.
Okay. All right.
alright.
yes, it would cut your time down significantly.
Yes, it would cut our time down significantly.
However,
We have-
you know that you don't want to be awake for the amount of time that it's going to cut it down.
How long till we get there?
Oof.
I want to
It's
wake
going
up.
to shorten the trip by about 100 years.
Dope.
Okay.
No,
That's
I mean
long to stay up for.
two 100 years.
Oh, okay.
So you
not,
could
not by 100 years.
Theoretically
to
stay
100
alive that
years,
whole
so-
time.
Let me just pull my cryopod into the bridge.
Just wake up every
Just-
10 years and check. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Just put a little
Set the
baby
alarm.
monitor next to
Quentin
it.
would do that.
Set the alarm for every 10 years. It'd be like knowing you have to get up at 8 a.m. and you keep waking up at 6:50,
Quentin.
Yeah.
7:15, 7:20, 7:30.
That sounds about right, actually. 1000%.
And then you're like tired AF whenever you do. You wake up
Whenever
from
it's
bed.
actually time to land on the planet, it's like, I'm gonna go for a nap real quick, guys.
Just stay awake for the last 30 years just because why?
We all
It's
wake
just
up
one
like,
of
wow,
those
I didn't sleep very well. It's like, yeah, I aged 10 years.
I'm
All right.
officially older than everyone.
You
Do we-
you know
Do we not have containment rooms on this ship?
We have a brig.
yeah, you have a brig.
So roll the ball
Put the orb in the
into
brig.
the brig,
I'll
put
just
it
say
under lock and key, and get back
It's
to your
an
damn
invisible-
cryopod.
Orb from space.
tie a rope around
So
it.
then
the orb.
space
Can
the
we
damn
wrap it? Like,
thing.
you know when you
The
take
orb.
rope and you like wrap around? No, the
You're-
rope would disappear.
You're
Hmm.
severely underestimating the from space part. We can't
I
just put it
Repeat
behind bars and be
my
like, oh, we
statement
handled
of
that.
then space the damn thing.
Oh, then why are we putting it in the brig?
Present.
We didn't know about this wormhole until we brought the thing on board.
That's what makes me nervous.
Can we use the wormhole without the thing on board? Can we exit it?
Yeah, maybe it's a key. Maybe we needed it to enter the worm. And also to exit. I don't trust it.
Like, we should at least run some tests.
You want to science the orb?
You just
We need
want
to
to leave the thing.
figure out something. Like, it's invisible.
Spooky.
Ish.
spooky. Can we try breaking it open? I know we've tried dropping it. but okay.
I don't think anyone's tried cutting it open or breaking it open.
I'm just gonna run over and just metal arm. I'm just gonna give it the people's elbow.
People's elbow. I thought you were gonna karate chop it.
And this is the first time that I'm going to get to say this. I believe this entire game. I would like for you to give me a using your melee blade, even though it's not using a blade. I'd like for you to give me a melee attack. So roll your melee skill check.
How is it that the non-combat classes get to enter combat before the one combat class? One! I have one job!
Sounds like you should be doing more shooting.
I have one job, and it's combat.
You guys,
If we shoot the orb, would it
you guys
bounce off?
cannot roll low. I mean, I don't think I've seen. I think the lowest roll we've had is what, a 9 or something like that.
Actually, I think it was me rolling like a 9. Yeah.
Yeah, we've
9
actually
or
gotten
8
a
or
few
9.
low rolls, but nothing
10.
on anything
Oh
else.
no, there was a 7 from Nate.
All right, you run up and you nail it with your elbow, even though it's invisible. Congratulations.
Oh well.
It has.
Holding it.
You slide off of it as you land your elbow on it and just kind of roll down. You apparently have had no effect in cracking open the orb.
It's a hardy orb.
Tane looks at him and just
Hard-boiled.
has this horrified look on his face, and he says, "That's amateur. That's not how you do it. All right, watch. I'll show you how a professional does it." And then he hits it.
Please don't hurt yourself.
The point
Too
was,
late.
It's a metal
I
hand.
can't break my elbow on it.
Too late. Low intellect score. Too late.
Great.
Please.
Your
do
limbs.
a heel
I
kick.
will set them without any anesthetic.
I've had it done before. I have no fear.
I do.
Well, that's
No fear.
all right.
One
Fair
fear.
enough.
Everybody's elbows are broken at the end of this.
Cap.
Nobody
can
has
I
arms.
Please hit the orb. Can I please hit the orb?
Yes, you can hit the orb.
Yay!
Are you going to hit it with your fists there?
I'm gonna hit it with my.
Yarhead.
Ooh, that's a good. Yeah,
Please don't. Quentin's like, don't hit it with your
I'm
head.
gonna. I'm going to.
Just hit it with your head.
I'm gonna give it a good. Good punch. I'm gonna punch it. I'm gonna punch it real hard.
Same thing. Give me a melee attack.
Sexy.
Jesus, with the highest melee score.
Woo! And I didn't do shit.
You hit it. There's no sound because of the dampening field around it.
Okay.
It's a solid lick, and your fist just kind of rolls off of it.
Oh.
Looking at your knuckles, it has a little bit of an abrasion on there.
Ow.
Feel good.
Okay. Can I pull up my gun and shoot at it?
Absolutely, you may.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god, that sounds like a terrible idea.
Can we not do
Gun
this in the
combat
bridge where
roll,
there are
please.
windows?
Fire
Listen.
the
Can
weapon
we
on
all
the
stand back?
Can we roll
You
it into
all
the
can
hallway?
say what you want. Tane's intellect score is.
Roll.
What's
Roll.
Everyone
no.
stand
I
back
know
now.
I started this
I'm just like
impulsively.
holding it like with my fingers, like please.
Yeah, she's holding onto it still. She's gonna start shooting.
I'm just like I'm off to the side, just like with my foot on it, like holding it in the spot. That's it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this is the best we had to offer.
No, we're the
Earth's
sixth ship.
best.
They're straight to the bottom by the time they got to us.
I mean,
You're right. It is number 6.
30.
The
We're still at
Suicide Squad equivalent of colony ships.
Oh no. For the Suicide Squad, great.
Okay.
Okay.
So does that
I
make
explained to me.
Tane
I
Harley
shoot
Quinn
the
then?
orb.
No, I feel like he would be Deadshot.
No.
Not with
Tane
that roll.
definitely-
Not with that roll, but
I think Skippy can agree with. I think Jason can agree with me. Tane is behaving as Captain Boomerang.
Oh my god, yes!
actually yes. Actually. Oh no.
I
This is
shoot
another
the
one
orb.
of Who's
Does anything
Who.
happen?
You fire a round into the, or you fire a burst from your laser pistol into the orb.
Fuck yeah,
Um,
lasers.
It absorbs it.
Oh.
Woo! Can I shoot it again?
Can we not?
No.
Tony!
As soon as I realize that it absorbs it, I'm gonna like waste my whole clip. Fuck this.
You just empty the
Okay.
empty the battery on it.
Yeah.
No.
Nane, when Tane is done being an idiot, I'll be in the medical bay. Let me know when you guys figure out what the hell you're doing with that so I can get back in my cryopod.
I'm never gonna get anything done if you give me that restriction.
Are you close his laptop, walks away slowly?
I say as they continue to just rain electric shots in the
If it
background.
had a hammer, yes, he would be standing there and trying to just empty the entire cylinder on it. Are you firing just, are you taking aim with each shot, or are you just literally just blast, 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 blast?
I mean, yeah, I would feel like I would be taking aim and like finding kind of slightly different points on the orb to shoot. Like, obviously, I wouldn't go anywhere near Quentin or anybody in the room, but like, you know, if the orb
Sure.
is just absorbing it, like, it's fun. And I haven't gotten
Obviously,
to
I'm
shoot
being
anything
safe
yet.
as I'm firing wildly in the room.
Hey, listen, I haven't gotten to shoot anything. I haven't gotten to punch anything. I haven't gotten to, like, nothing. So this is my first opportunity to really just wreak some fucking havoc.
Other than Mag Boots, Kane hasn't really done much.
Exactly. I need to have my fun somewhere.
You're doing great.
with all
Nara's
you
going to her
science
office.
bitches.
Nara's done with
Right.
this bullshit, and she's going to her office.
Nara's like taking a nice hot shower, climbing into her cryopod after toweling off, making sure it's dry.
She
She
just
can still
ices
hear
herself.
Get a book, actually.
You all walk in and
things
look at her
over the-
cryopod, and she's just doing this.
Oh boy.
All right, you leave and go to your office. Tane, I'd like for you to give me some more gun combat rolls.
Oh, sexy. All right.
Your first one's going to be no modifier. The second one, though, I'd like for you to add a -1.
Oh, shoot.
Okay.
I fucked up.
It's okay. It's okay. It's still 13. That's fine. Or yeah. Okay. And then the next one, I would like for you to give me a -2 roll on.
Okay.
I know
Okay.
where this is going.
Basically,
Okay,
so-
you fired, and each time it's not, but there's still a bit of the pump from the energy being released from the end of the cannon or from the end of the gun. Not the cannon.
Sure. And I'm a little
Um,
out of practice. I've been in cryostasis for a while. I can't imagine I would have any real reason to practice my marksmanship while on the ship, so...
The last shot gives you pause because while it doesn't go at Quentin, it does hit the
Oh, shit.
paneling on the end of the desk there, and you watch as the burst leaves a nice blast spot on the
I do
metal
kind of the-
framing.
I do kind of that... Ooh,
As you realize just your natural steadiness in your arm, you've been kind of walking it a little bit.
Oh, shit,
Um,
I skipped arm day. I knew this would come back and bite me in the ass.
Never skips leg day. Legs
Oh, yeah.
rocked,
Raw
but
solid.
arms skinny little noodle thing. Like
No,
no
this-
upper body strength at all.
They're fine, just a little out of practice.
Right. Long jumps 12 feet, but can't lift his own weight.
Like, tries to do a pull-up. Oh, god damn it.
Arms
Oh
fall
my
off.
Like a
Okay.
human tyrannosaur.
You watch as each shot is just into the dampening field and doesn't seem to do anything.
Yeah, okay.
That last one goes a little bit wide and hits right next to it into the paneling of the desk area.
Yeehaw.
Who's this?
You still have about
Who's-
7
who's-
shots in the battery left, so you can continue to fire if you would like to.
I think, okay, I'm gonna assume I probably started this by firing one-handed, considering it's like a pistol or whatever. So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna kind of shrug and fire one more two-handed into the orb. Like, I'm
So
gonna
you
put my
cup
other
and
hand on
saucer
there
it.
to steady myself.
So don't cup and saucer, but you reach forward and
Yeah, give it a little
Mm-hmm.
bit of a stabilizer, and just one more into the
okay,
Into
go ahead and
the
roll.
orb.
I'll let you do a natural roll. Okay.
once more onto the
It-
orb.
It hits into the orb again. You watch as the shot appears to be absorbed by the dampening.
All right. Well,
Now,
that didn't do
Quentin, you've had your
anything.
hand on this thing the whole time,
Yeah.
or your foot, anyways.
Well, like I've been like holding it, so just like if it, even though it's been like absorbing the shot, like it at least doesn't move, I guess.
Mhm.
Quentin's a real
It's
one.
just like
You
it's just
can
like
see
as
where-
far as possible, but still touching it. Like
You can see where each one of the energy blasts from the pistol has like hit the surface of this thing, and now you can see that it's the coloring of it makes it almost imperceptible, but you can see where blast marks have actually been laid into
Oh.
this thing.
okay.
He's not touching it to shoot it. He's not got his hand on it. Put the
He's
gun
got
to it
it
and go bang, bang,
vaguely
bang, bang. So he's not seeing anything. It just looks like it disappears into the dampening field.
I guess it was good that I kept my hands on it.
So you can see that it's not, it doesn't seem to be having an effect on it, but you can see that it's definitely hitting it.
Quentin, did that do anything? Anything? Seriously, I just emptied like half my clip. If anything crops up on this ship, we're fucked.
It absorbed the shots. There's marks, but it absorbed the shots otherwise.
Aw,
Didn't
damn
really
it.
do damage.
No, like
I guess.
giant comical ice age, nut in the ice cracks or anything like that.
Not that you
No,
can see.
unfortunately not.
Ah, God
However,
damn it.
you know that almost imperceptible hum that you'd kind of felt in it? That little bitty tiny vibration that was not enough to really jar your nerves or anything?
Yeah.
It's become much more perceptible.
Oh. So
It's
it,
now emitting, at least while you have your hand on it, a slightly high-pitched.
oh, I was about to say, is it crying?
No, it's not. It's just kind of like a high-pitched, not really a whine, but just kind of part of that buzzing sound. It's just like,
There was a dog in there the whole time.
She sings. That's what this is doing.
She sings.
so
Beautiful voice.
you hear a slight buzzing sound, and the vibration has.
And the vibration is still going after the shots, or no?
I mean, that's what picked it up.
Oh. And has it like toned down at all, or is it still?
It has not seemed to have abated at all.
Name,
It
put your
was-
hand on it.
It was fine until Tane blasted it, and then it picked up, and it hasn't seemed to have dissipated at all.
Name, put your hand on it.
I'll put my hand on it.
All right,
She sings.
put your hand on the orb, and you can feel there is a slightly higher pitched buzzing that goes along with the vibration. It seems to have altered the frequency, or maybe it's just gotten more intense.
Somehow I feel as though I fucked up irreparably.
No, not really. No, not in the slightest.
All right, cool.
Did you have fun?
Is this in character or out of character? Because
No,
in character,
so did you have
absolutely.
fun?
Yeah, that was great. I haven't gotten to shoot anything in fucking years. Not that that's like a favorite thing of mine. I prefer to use my fists, but you know, guns, they're all right.
Okay,
That's the new slogan for the NRA. Guns, they're all right.
they're not all bad.
Tane's new
They're pretty
motto:
bad.
I prefer to use my fists.
But if you fucking cowards want
He's
to
been
use guns-
workshopping a few choice, a few phrases. I think he's working maybe toward prepare for the fistings, but he's not sure how if it rolls off the tongue or not.
It's a work in progress, obviously.
Let's not use that.
All right, Quentin, I'm gonna run a bunch of these by you. Just yay or nay on all of them. This one, nay. This one, nay. This one, nay. Okay,
Quentin,
I'm
you're not
all out of
helping.
slogan. This was
All right.
not productive.
So again, the additional blast from the laser seems to have increased the intensity of the vibration, and it's now emitting kind of a high-pitched buzz. Nain, you did not hear it until you put your hand on the orb.
This is all you, science, bro.
There is no.
Are you trying to match pitch? What's happening?
Oh, that bit. Oh.
Yeah, the tuning fork. He wrings it off of his hand. And hand on it.
Oh,
Doing great.
Actually, that's an interesting idea. Maybe we should do that.
let's all sing.
I mean, I don't want to sing, but
I don't want to do that.
but we just like.
If one of you wants to sing, I'll absolutely. But you're fucking doing it live too.
Maddie's not here. I politely refuse.
I am right here.
Yeah, but Nara's not here, so you're not here for this. Oh.
Pitch pipe. Thank you.
Yeah, just like just play that across the room and see if it like rolls towards you or something.
You know what's really funny though is I'm not surprised that Jason has a pitch pipe.
Yeah, really.
What?
I think that's fantastic.
I don't even know how to use it.
Well, you're already halfway there. Yeah.
Whoa, we're halfway there.
And the orb cracks
And the viewer
open all
count
it
goes
needed.
completely down.
Jovi.
All right. What are you doing? You have this orb. It is emitting a slightly higher pitched sound. As far as you know, Quentin, based off of once you programmed the route in, the computer flies the ship.
Yeah.
I mean, anything else is just your own nerves.
Yeah.
Of which you have many.
Help me remember.
They're all live.
Have we tested? I know we used like we checked it for electric current in one of the previous loops.
Mm-hmm.
Have we done that this time?
You have not.
We've done no testing.
You have not.
The only testing was now the gunshots.
And the people's elbow.
I like that that's what our testing is. Our testing is to shoot and hit it. Welcome to humanity's answer to anything alien.
Light it on fire. What happens if we do that?
Let's
Light
try
it on
that.
fire.
Yeah.
Haven't done that yet.
You haven't tried pissing on it either, but I mean, hey, there's
What
certain
happens if we
lines
pour a liquid on it? Not necessarily piss exactly. But
Not necessarily piss.
I don't
Got
know,
any other
because no
liquids?
one has
But a
poured
liquid.
liquid on it.
Do we
would
have
the
any
liquid
other
just like
readily
roll off?
available
Would it
ones?
absorb it like it did for
I don't
the
know.
gunshot?
Try it out.
You don't know.
Somebody-
No one has poured liquid on it.
I'm gonna go to the mess hall and grab liquid.
Praetor,
Plate of
do
Yes.
you have any idea what this orb is or what it's made out of?
Composite materials made from common elements found within our own periodic chart. The object itself is unknown. Its
All
purpose
elements?
is identified. Negative,
All
not
elements?
negative, not all elements.
So okay. So some alien elements.
Oh,
It is-
sick. Secret
It is
elements.
primarily ferrous in nature.
Okay.
That means metal. For
Iron. Iron specifically.
Yes. The object's origin is unknown. The object's purpose is unknown. It does seem to contain rather extensive star charts, updated beyond our own current scope.
Ferris, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, like that movie.
Bueller.
Negative.
All
It
right.
is non-carbon.
All right. Not sure.
No,
what,
I apologize. It does have carbon traces, but it is non-living.
It's not carbon based.
It is not living. It has, it is
Yeah,
carbon. in
It has
liquid.
carbon, but it's not carbon based. Which,
Correct.
Okay.
So
Hence the reason he's been referring to it in the past as a non-biotic.
Yes.
So when we hit it, it sounds. It just makes us dull thud, right? It doesn't sound hollow. It doesn't sound.
So the dampening field seems to not only cloak its vision, but any sound that it makes.
Now here's a
You are
question.
touching it and you do anything to it, it gives you just kind of a dull thud. Boom, boom, boom.
Now, in the medical bay, I'm sure maybe that we'd have some sort of X-ray scanner.
Yeah.
Seems
Like, why don't we try that? Maybe. Would it be like a handheld where it's like, like?
Yeah. There is an option for a handheld one. Yeah.
We could.
Sweet, free radiation.
Delicious. Welcome to space. The radiation is
Spraying it in your mouth like Banaka.
can
I'm
of
gonna have so many superpowers.
Quick, Quentin, shoot me. I want to turn into the Hulk.
I'd prefer you
gamma
did.
radiation, not X-rays.
Whoa, you're halfway there. So
yeah,
why don't we try taking it to medical and X-ray it?
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's an idea.
Let's do that.
I'll let
get
go
on
and I'll
one-
let
get
Maine
on
handle it.
one side to. Someone help me pick it up.
I got you.
You
Tane
remember,
just
you have no
goes,
idea how heavy this thing is.
Yeah, but I figure with two people, we like.
Tane
Give it-
rolled it in here by himself.
Because I'm special, bitch.
Rolling it though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I guess you could just roll it. I'm not helping. I want to
Rolling
go
on
get
the
dressed. Actually,
Praetor.
Quentin
It-
wants clothing.
It would definitely be faster to pick it up than roll
Okay.
it.
Are the two of you going to try to pick it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It yields almost no resistance. It is nigh weightless in your hands.
All right, sweet.
All right.
Let's
Interesting.
get this thing to the medical bay then.
Okay.
Walk it to medical.
You walk it to the medical bay. You watch as they walk in, Nara, carrying nothing, but apparently looking though they're carrying something between them.
Awkwardly carrying nothing.
Like
Yeah.
an egg.
What are you?
No, you go first. We can't go side by side. We have to turn like it's like trying to get an odd orb-shaped couch into a doorway.
When they get in, Tane takes it from Nain and like holds it up on his shoulders. He's like, "Hey, look, I'm Atlas."
I see what you did there. I bet you right now you're so pleased with yourself. You're grinning from ear to ear. aren't you?
You have got my number. Because I am sitting here.
Just giggling your little ass off.
I am just your fucking cat, motherfucker.
All right. You have the orb on your shoulder. The name. It is, like I said, nigh weightless. They both look absolutely mad.
Okay, bye. Sorry.
Sorry. You place the orb back down on the ground, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it down in front of those guys.
All right. So you put it down. Nara, they have. Again, you can't see anything. They just look like he's out of his mind, miming something.
I bring you
Hey,
a strawberry.
we're gonna check this for X-rays. X-ray. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd like to use the X-ray machine to scan the object that is not visible to the doctor.
It's the invisible orb. If you didn't know.
It's not visible. That's what invisible means.
You would know about it if you were cooler.
I love Tane so much.
I'm glad y'all like that.
Maybe it's
Just
the
your-
3 nights of sleep deprivation. That was funnier than it should have been. All right.
Okay.
I'd like to use your X-ray to scan this device. So the machine in particular that you use, It's more advanced than what it used to be in the past. It uses something. It uses technology that was originally developed for airport security. Now they've kind of shrunk it down, and it's a device that you pull out like a sheaf of paper, and as you can kind of run it up and down and scan an object in front of you.
Nice. Let's
Okay.
do that.
All right. I'm gonna let you handle this gun. I'm all right with the one I've got. I feel like that one's probably more your speed. Because it's
Well,
like
considering it's not a gun, it's like she has this bar
Oh,
that's like this
okay.
long. It has a handle on this side and a handle on this side. You watch as she
Oh,
opens
yeah.
it up, and it's like
Okay.
a sheet of paper.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. Like
That's
okay.
filament.
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I'm trying to
scans it
remember.
up and
There's
down.
like something where they use that. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. You quickly run it to where they point you in the direction of the orb, and you run it up and down. As you move it, there's nothing. All of a sudden, you see the orb, and you come all the way down. When you look at the actual image itself, the center of the orb, let's say the orb was 3 feet in diameter. If I'm not mistaken, that's what I said. So it's a
3 or 5.
three foot in diameter, and the mass in the center is about a foot, and it's just a bright white spot. All around that, you can make out the images. It looks like wiring or some other kind of electrical equipment. You see wiring and boxes that are enclosed. But again, like I said, this is about a foot across. It's just a white image. It's just a white spot.
Kanye leans in front of the scanner. You seeing anything?
Like in front of us, so your head's now in front between the orb and the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big dumb lummox.
Oh, yes, of course. I see something. Tane, I hate to break it to you, but you have this incurable disease.
Wait. Seriously?
Yeah, absolutely.
What the
Would you-
fuck?
Would you like to know what it's called?
Yeah?
Get the fuck out of my way, ISIS.
I mean, I hate ISIS too, but
I
like.
like there's a comma in there. Like,
Oh my god.
Commas.
what do you have against Egyptian gods? I don't understand.
No, B, come back. All right, I see how it is. All right, okay. Asshole.
Are you going to let me do my job, or are you going to continue to be in my way?
He leans back out of the way and he just shakes his head and walks over to the other side of the room and crosses his arms. Like,
Like
fuck
Al
you.
Huffy.
Yeah. Huh. How dare you, meanie pants.
Again,
Aw, the Marine can deal out the teasing but can't take any of his own. How sad.
Remember, I literally can snap you in half.
Remember who patched you up after you kicked the shit out of those 3 other military people.
All right, we're not talking about that. Not right now, not with the
Mhm.
science officer in the room.
Mm-hmm. So
All right,
I would.
I yield.
Yeah.
Go
what I
ahead, do
thought.
your shit. Hi, puppy.
all right. So, you see what appears to be wires, other gearbox, boxes in there that they feed into. And again, the biggest thing though is in the middle of it, and about a foot in diameter, is just a white spot.
Can I find like a hatch with the scan,
You
or
give me-
possibly like a way to open it, a seam of some sort?
Yeah, let's see what we got here. You have science, yeah. Give me a science roll. Wow. Super nice.
Sexy
You
science.
see why it's so hard to find this thing, because it literally takes you having the scanner to find this nearly imperceptible seam. But it looks as though you can see what appears to be some sort of release mechanism. It looks as though if you push in on that particular panel or part or somewhere around there, that it may actually like release the hatch or pop it open.
Okay. She's going to ask Nane to come hold onto the scanner.
Okay.
Alright.
And then she is going to, with one hand on the orb, gently press that release.
The panel itself is maybe just about 1/2 foot by 1/2 foot, and you push in, and you watch as for a second you don't think anything's happening. With your hand on it, though, you actually feel the shift, and that panel slides outward towards you and then over. And you are now looking inside, and it is attached on metal bracing, and that's what slid it over. You can now see inside, and there is what you're looking at is a screen. It's again maybe 6 inches by 6 inches, and it's got characters written on it that are kind of like moving every once in a while. Not from like whenever you read a computer screen, like reading DOS or anything else like that. Previous information is above, and then new information is at the bottom. This seems to be opposite. New information appears at the top, pushes the old information down to the bottom. The language that it's written in, you're not familiar with it.
Can I write down a sample of what I see and then run it through Praetor's language?
Absolutely,
System?
you can.
That's yes.
You can actually probably ask him directly, since the ship is kind of like able to see most everything around.
Okay. Then that is what I will do.
One moment, scanning.
No.
No language matches current language bank. Language does not match any known current language in the language bank.
Do we have similarities?
Scanning. Yes, similarities found. Some characters from ancient Sumerian.
Oh my god.
Atlas, are you okay?
Yeah.
Huh.
Aliens.
Somebody's phone ringing.
Which of you bitches has T-Mobile?
Okay.
I mean, me too.
But that's your first mistake.
Really? That was the first mistake?
Yeah, of all things.
Of all the things, that was the mistake?
Praetor, can you
plan? I've been grandfathered into their unlimited plan.
can you decipher the rest
What?
from the Sumerian we do have?
Affirmative.
Crack the goddamn code.
So the X-ray idea.
It will take some,
idea.
it will take some time, but it can be translated.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna poke my head in and see what else I can sort of see in there.
You're gonna literally stick your
Smash
head
your
into the
face.
mysterious orb.
It's a panel.
Most of it,
Telka.
Was it a panel? I thought
Yeah,
it opened
it
up a
just
little.
it opened up and revealed a 6x6 panel with information on it.
Well, if it opens up, there's like some space. That you
Just
can see
now
inside.
punch your hand through it.
there's not really. I mean, it's the
Okay.
screen. The screen fills up the area that was revealed.
Okay. Fine. So we should not break this yet.
I would say, yeah, it's probably not a good idea. Not for the best.
But
Tane?
perhaps if we can get a
Tane said be right back.
perhaps if we
Tane.
can get a translation on it though.
Yeah.
Real quick, Jason, that's absolutely brilliant. I didn't see that until now. That image of the spider thing from Johnny Quest.
God. It's terrifying. Note to self, don't pour mysterious liquids on the orb.
Orb-related spider leg thing. Has anybody watched Santa Clarita Diet other than myself?
I've been meaning to, but ew.
Okay, I don't personally like zombie films, not because they scare me, just because they're so overdone. So many zombie films, it's just like I can't watch anymore. However, iZombie and Santa Clarita Diet break the mold for me, and I absolutely love them. If nothing more than Santa Clarita Diet has these two really great bubbly characters who are just a complete mess but trying to hold it all together, and Timothy Olyphant plays one of the best neurotic yet I'm gonna make it like middle like suburbanite dads ever. And it is great, but they have there's a reveal in season 2 of an orb with legs, and that's what it reminded me of. Anyways, breaking back into what we're doing. So you can't really see past it. The outer shell of the Jawbreaker is probably maybe an inch to 2 inches thick, and then the screen fills up everything there.
Once we get the translation, there's a good chance that we might be able to actually get this open all the way. I don't want to start screwing around with this without...
Are you looking at the screen right now? Like looking at it? You see characters that start, and they're not at the bottom yet. They're about midway through, but you see that it has a pattern that repeats. The same characters appear, and then there's a space, and then you watch as the same characters appear again, and a space, and then the same characters appear again, and a space. So it's not like the characters are changing. It's the same characters, and you kind of catch that it's either a phrase or a word. And it's waiting for input because you're watching it. It's not like it appears and then just a space and it appears. It appears. There's several seconds where there's nothing that happens. Then there's a blank space, and then those characters appear again. And there's several seconds, nothing happens. It's like it's waiting for a response to whatever this is being said.
Is there a keyboard sort of analogous part of the screen?
Not that you can see. Nope.
Alright.
Perhaps it reacts to a voice command.
Yeah.
Anybody speak ancient Sumerian?
Possibly the Praetor could speak in tongues of whatever this is once it figures out how to say what it's...
The Praetor is not a protocol droid. I see that smile behind Jason's hand. The Praetor is not C-3PO.
Praetor shouldn't be sassy, but somehow it is.
No, that was the GM. That wasn't the Praetor.
I think we just wait for the translation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this does at all, so I don't want to.
Well, it seems to be a star chart since Quentin was able to use it to correct our course through the wormhole.
As part of it, but it's also like an alien language, and it's asking something, and I don't want to be the guy to accidentally tell aliens to fuck off.
I want to be on good terms with the aliens.
Yeah, they could have.
The Praetor does chime in at this time and says, "Lexicon 65% complete. Translation finished. Unfortunately, the limits to what we had, there was a 65% match."
What do we have?
Are you asking like what do we have? I mean, I'm not.
What do you have for a translation? How much were you able to translate?
65%.
Okay, so
what is the translation?
the repeating phrase. What is?
Oh, that. Thank you. That was like. Are you looking for me to give you like 65% of the ancient Sumerian language?
No, I am looking for 65% of that message translated into English.
Oh no, I apologize. Let me rephrase. You were asking him to translate. He was looking at the data that was all there all together. The entire language he is able to match at 65%. Looking at that phrase though, there's a moment where there's a pause and then you hear it's awaiting input. It's awaiting for what appears to be a login information.
All right, it's just a password screen.
Huh.
Correct.
Try like 1, 2, 3, 4 or something.
Wait,
It's like everybody's password.
I'm just gonna touch random points on the orb and see if inputs show up on the orb, like the screen.
Okay. When you put your finger on a part of it, you watch as the cursor starts to draw something. When you take your finger off, it stops.
Huh.
So again, you put your finger on different points and it starts to make like putting the end of a stylus down on a touchpad. You can see where it kind of makes the indentation, but you get the idea quickly that the way you work this is by actually drawing on the surface of the tablet, or the surface of the orb.
Okay. Praetor, can you pull up how hello would be written in the language that we've translated?
Where would you like this to be displayed?
On a computer screen that I can see in this room.
Affirmative. There's one of the in the main area here, like a computer that allows you to scan the person that's on the emergency table there. After a moment, you see a display that has several characters. You can trace them along. Give me a straight education roll.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was less exciting than I thought it was going to be.
Worse.
Could have been. Yeah, you're able to draw them out pretty well. And you match as best you can to what you see on the screen. There is a pause and you watch as the same characters that appeared before pop up again. Your word hello was not the login.
Praetor, translate my name into the language?
There's a pause. Unable to translate. No apparent translation.
Praetor, translate 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm telling your name. It's gonna work.
Only an idiot uses that as their password.
Well, then me and everyone else is an idiot.
Nobody else uses that as a password.
No one's debating that.
No one's debating that you're an idiot.
Praetor, can we? No, fuck. It's a language.
Wait, does my voice command not work? Does it not work when I ask the Praetor to translate 1, 2, 3, 4?
It says,
just
there's a pause for a moment, and the screen has some characters that show up.
All right, I want to try and draw them.
No, hold on.
Hold on a second here.
There's a method. We're supposed to do something here. Praetor, can you translate the Pythagorean theorem for us? Write that out. That's what the fuck you're supposed to do. Give me that look, people.
The first thing is you have to remember that our numbering system that we know of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? That Sumerian doesn't use the same numbering system.
Oh, that's right. That's Arabic numeral.
That's correct. that
Our numbers are ubiquitous.
now there is a translation for them, and they can put them up there, but it's one character, and then that character repeats. That's 2. That character repeats 3 times.
So it would just be that, but you would do it 10 times.
It's like no, because when you get to certain when you get kind of like how Roman numerals work, certain numbers are
ones have
represented
consonants.
by a different character.
Okay,
right?
fair enough. Yeah.
So it's like 1 through 9 would be this character repeated 9 times, but number 10 would be a different character.
Okay, so then if it was just 1 through 4, it would just be the same
It would be the same character repeated
10 times.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Prater, can you translate the word captain, please?
Hello, Chubby.
Affirmative.
And display.
There's a pause, and it comes back with closest approximation that we have, and then the characters appear on the screen.
She's going to trace that onto the orb.
Fine. You're supposed to tell them the Pythagorean theorem, but okay.
I apologize. I got off.
Why?
That's like if you were to encounter aliens, you write out the fucking Pythagorean theorem because it's supposed to prove that we can't communicate, but we have like higher complex thinking.
Okay, you are correct. However, Pythagoras.
Unnecessary at this point, but
Pythagorea was what?
The ancient Greeks.
Sumeria, Greece. Not the same thing.
Munchie.
All right. So basically, the praetor says, to your request to put the Pythagorean theorem, would you like that in current script, or would you like that in the closest approximation to ancient Sumerian that we could find it?
Closest approximation.
Okay. It displays basically a combination of something that appears that way, but looking at it now and knowing how the Pythagorean theorem works, it looks like complete bunko. You're like, that doesn't translate well.
It's right, like fine. Google Translate Pythagorean theorem.
It's okay. So here's revealing more about Captain we probably want to know. Ancient Sumerian uses a sexagesimal method. So it's not 1 through 0, which is base 10. It's 60.
This is where we get our 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute.
Exactly. It's a base 60 system.
Gotcha. Which is even dumber than standard.
It sounds better than counting in French.
Yes.
That is so point on. It's not even funny.
Yep.
Oh, boy, that is the hardest fucking part
Munchie,
of that language.
go lay down. Go lay down.
Yep.
Go lay down. Go lay down.
Yes.
4 20s.
4 20s plus 17.
Please, sir, I just want to see my children.
96, which is 96.
So you
awful language.
So you write captain on the okay. There is a brief pause, and this time the characters change.
What's the translation?
Translation
as close, of course, as the praetor can get it.
Closest approximation is it's waiting for further authorization. I would surmise that it is waiting for a password.
See password hint.
Password hint.
Is there a forgot password?
So with security questions, what was your street name growing up?
Praetor?
What was your childhood crush?
Can you please translate Marilyn's password into Sumerian?
Her password for what?
Her password.
Just the password in general.
She only has one for the ship. We all only have one for the ship.
But would the praetor give us that information?
The praetor would have access to it.
But would it give it to you?
I can't read Sumerian.
That's not what I mean.
I don't know.
I got what
That's...
you mean. The captain basically asking if the praetor would willingly give over the captain's password without it being the captain who's authorizing it.
Yes. Knowing for a fact that I can't read ancient Sumerian, so I can't read what this says anyway. So I still technically don't know what the password is.
There's a brief pause, and then you see characters appear.
Well, and that brings up the question, is the praetor capable of decision making? Because a computer probably wouldn't be able to discern between...
You got to remember, basic AI. It would have enough information to... There's, by the way, in the Discord chat, for anyone who would like to see, there is what Sumerian looks like.
Oh, sexy.
Yeah. It's fucking complicated.
But real fucking sexy.
I'm going to trace her password into the orb.
Oh, I remember learning Sumerian numbers in school.
There is a brief pause. A message appears on the screen to which the praetor replies, "You have apparently gotten it incorrect." And then you watch as the characters waiting for the password appear again. Perhaps my translation was off. Keep in mind, the lexicon is only 65% translated. Well,
Is there a way to extrapolate to 100%, Praetor?
Affirmative. Ample amount of time with the orb would result in 100% translation.
How long would it take you?
Calculating. Unknown variables exist. Estimated time for 100%. As close approximation as we can get. Seven years.
Whoa.
So we just draw the whatever we're writing, just actually draw it out.
Yep. So the orb has one section of it has all the maps, and as you roll it, the location stays in the same place, but the map changes. Then right next to this panel, there's like blank space around it, and you just literally take your finger on the orb and draw on it.
All right, I'm gonna just write like captain or human and go through a couple options like that in like English.
Okay. You're trying it in just English?
Yeah, just.
You watch as a new message appears.
Ha!
Incorrect amount of tries. Please try again in 15 years.
Wait, oh, damn. If it was a short, if it was a shorter time, I'd be like, fuck it, that would make
contact your admin. Account lock, please contact admin for further support.
That'll make the translate go way faster, though.
There is a brief pause, and you hear the praetor say, "Apparently, it's asking you for optimization settings."
Plug her in.
Can write the word English, Dane?
Yeah, English.
One moment.
Right.
Are you writing the word English in English?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. When you change the language on your iPhone, it doesn't say like Inglés, Español, Francés, Japonés. Like it says the language in the language.
Wait, can you?
You're right. It says the language in the language that it is currently
translate English into the code as the language of the orb as best we know.
Please wait. Gives you a close enough approximation.
Pop that sucker in.
There are several blank lines of data that flow down the screen. And eventually you see kind of like somebody writing but missing characters from the keyboard. Whose name?
So let's see here.
So it's now in
Whose
English, which means now we can understand it.
If-ish.
Approximation 85%. Lexicon translation.
So it's an Oos name?
Yeah, like use name.
Oh.
Like the R was missing out of it.
Okay.
Wait. What if
I'm
we
gonna-
use Quentin? It's a navigation ball.
Okay.
Right. Sorry, was that jump in logic a little fast?
I found this amazing computer that somebody left in a backpack. I should try my own username and password and see if that works.
It's a navigation ball. It makes sense that we should be using Quentin's
Sure. I'm down with that.
navigation codes.
We could try that. Next up, gonna try Praetor.
Yes. Unless you want to try Praetor first, and then
I
Quentin.
want to try Praetor first.
I will defer to you and your sciencing ways.
Okay, you
But
type
we've
in the
got
word
it
Praetor.
in. But we've got it in English.
You type in the word Praetor.
Yeah.
You hit enter, or you release your finger off of there, and there's a few lines of blank data, and in broken English typed out, "Welcome back, Praetor."
Now.
Praetor, have you ever accessed or interfaced with this before?
Affirmative.
When?
There were 45 iterations. Upon iteration 1, I interacted with it.
Come again?
There were 45 iterations. Upon iteration 1, when the orb was brought on ship, I interacted with it.
45 iterations of what now?
Now, we should have mentioned the iterations in our notes to ourselves.
Did we? Okay.
Maybe we mentioned
Yeah,
that
'cause
we've
the whole
done this
thing was that we were
before.
time looping. We
Yeah.
might not have said how many times, but
Okay. I just wrote the answer, not the whole whole thing.
The whole question.
You trying to do this like Jeopardy style? What is, how many times have we reset?
Okay.
It's like Family Feud where we just smack the button and say whatever.
So, Praetor, what have you learned from the orb when you interface with it?
Orb of
Unfortunately, not
learning.
much. It seems to be friendly, but it is pretty much an advanced computer.
Do we have any idea what its purpose is?
Undetermined at this time.
Why
It
don't we
appears to
ask
have
it?
extensive
What's
appears to have
your
extensive
purpose?
information concerning navigation. Best assumption that the Praetor can make off of given use is that it is a nav computer of some sort.
Okay.
Maybe we
we-
should ask it what its function is.
Yeah, let's do that. Right in
Junction,
like
junction. What's
And
your
try and
function?
keep the question simple so that nothing is lost in translation.
Okay. How would you like to ask this? This is like filling out a wish spell in D&D. Careful how you word this. What would you like to ask of it?
what is your purpose?
Okay. You ask, what is your purpose? To fulfill directives. Primary directive. Navigation. Astrogation. Secondary function. Failover defense system.
Failover defense system?
Yep. Failover space defense system. Tertiary directive. Knowledge repository.
That's good. What is?
They've been in this room for some time. Skippy. I don't know if Jack's back yet, but Captain. And V. Quentin, what are you guys doing?
I went to go get changed and dressed because Quentin wants real clothes. And also, I'm stealing the largest sweater, and if that happens to be Tane's, so be it.
It is
Oh,
Tane's.
yeah.
Probably is
He
Tane's.
has no need for them. They're all yours.
I'll probably head off with Quentin to get dressed, slip the flash drive in my pocket.
Okay.
Once I have
Stealing the largest.
All right.
With my own pants this time.
Not a large pair of pants.
No.
You know, you're not walking the hems off. All right. You get
shoes.
dressed and shoes. You get dressed appropriately. It's like all stride right shoes. It's just there's a slight.
Man, who's still the lefts?
Stride right shoes. It's all those comfortable, like, you know, nursing shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. No, you get dressed appropriately and you Skippy slip the drive into your pocket. What questions would you like to ask of the orb?
Wait, us?
The crew that's in there. Once
Okay,
you've gotten
I was like-
dressed, what would you like to do?
Oh, I'll probably go to the medical lab to
Okay.
see what
Yeah.
the hubbub is about, and
Well,
see if
you-
the X-ray idea worked because I wouldn't know anything.
As you enter,
Ah,
You
you broke
see-
it.
you see the orb sitting on the ground, and you see that there is a panel that is slid open. You can
Wait, I see it.
you can see the orb sitting on there, as well as Skippy. If you went into the medical bay, you can see it as well.
Oh.
The orb is there, and there's a panel that has been slid open that's sitting on metal arms that kind of reached, like, push the panel out and then over.
Oh.
And you can see a screen just past them.
What you guys doing?
Hey,
Working.
the
Hey,
orb's talking to us now. And then I go back and just go right back to the orb.
Hey,
What is unit's name? Or designation, excuse me.
Okay.
I pull Quentin aside, tell him kind of everything that happened since neither of those two were very helpful.
I'm glad the X-ray thing worked.
Yeah, and then they started pressing buttons and asking the computer to translate shit. So, yeah,
Oh.
that's what they're doing now.
It responds back to you, no approximation in this language for designation.
What is
What is
failover?
base language?
It writes base language is, and then it writes a bunch of characters out next to where it says base language. Failover in the terms of technology is if you have a primary system, it fails, you would have a failover system. So basically it says there, wherever it came from, there was a defense system, but if that defense system failed, it would refer to this one as the backup.
Yeah.
Sorry, that wasn't real clear. I forget, not everybody works in tech.
I've never seen a tech in my life.
What are those?
What are those?
What are those? What are those?
Just like echoes.
What are those?
Those are
The
my
word
computer
query
servers,
appears on the
asshole.
screen.
All right, what else do we ask the orb?
The word query appears on the screen and asks, "What is your designation?"
Name?
Nane.
Question mark?
Nara,
Do you
Nara
speak
kind
it
of,
or do you write it on there?
Write it.
Nara kind
Okay.
of like rolls her eyes and then kind of like writes, got it over top of where Nane is so that the contact is still there. science officer named Collinson, like, does his full name for him.
It's just his name. She goes and writes in front of that science officer and behind it, Collinson.
And then follows it underneath with medical officer Kalinara Morrison.
There's a pause. Entity base form. Identify. Entity's base form.
Would we qualify as human?
Human? Right in.
Human question mark?
There is a brief pause.
Humans.
Several lines of information. Not information, but several blank lines. Again, like somebody's just hitting the return button and making blank lines. The word human is the last thing to appear at the bottom as the blank lines drop it down. Unidentified.
We're new.
Why don't we try Terran?
Okay.
Nobody ever refers to humans as humans. We're never humans in any sort of sci-fi anything. We're always Terrans.
Well, yeah, but
or Earthlings,
we also haven't, like, we're the ones who came up with Terrans for.
Because terra firma is a Roman term for Earth.
Like,
that isn't
to
to say,
aliens.
That isn't to
Homo
say
sapiens?
that there aren't other human civilizations out there.
Well, yeah, we've sent them out.
Not meant besides us.
Like civilizations that refer to themselves as human, but not being our traditional definition of human.
Very
true. Right. So
we're an ancient colony of somebody else's.
So she's gonna try writing in Terran and see if that comes back with anything.
Again, it repeats that several blank lines where it pushes Terran almost down to the bottom of the screen and says unidentified.
Homo sapien?
Great. Earth? See what happens there.
Several lines of data pop unidentified.
Try carbon. It asked for base, right?
Try hominid.
Carbon, hominid, which one do you want to go with? Both of them? One at a time?
Carbon? Let's go carbon.
Carbon base? Acknowledged. Carbon-based life form.
Fuck yeah!
We were thinking too complex.
Tane didn't say shit, unfortunately. Because Tane wouldn't know what the fuck a carbon-based life form is.
It's true.
Kind of watches sci-fi.
We're made out of carpets.
Life won't be afraid.
We're made out of
This is true. I've coasted by with a lot of these on. Tane watches a lot of sci-fi, so it's fine. But I feel like that's something he probably wouldn't
have picked up on.
Yeah.
Yes, you were also made of peptide chains, so there you
Water.
Nara is going to write discovered life forms or known life forms within the knowledge repository.
And you watch as a flood of characters appear. Maybe 22 lines in all, but they're written in that language that you don't know.
Alright. I'm gonna write in like display base language alphabet.
I actually have to think if it would know what that means. Yeah, actually, yeah, it would, because it's a knowledge repository. You watch as characters, some of them repeating, so like it would be this character and then this character, but maybe angled differently, and it displays an entire like lexicon laid out for you. Lexicon is actually like words, but it displays an entire alphabet for you. It fills up the screen. As a matter of fact, it starts to roll off of the screen as it displays the information.
Praetor record this for
Already done, Science Officer Collinson.
Hell yeah.
I love the Praetor. It's cute.
It's a shame it'll have to kill us all.
Yeah, I like it though.
Become sentient.
I wonder, can we possibly get that alphabet translated with the English equivalent? Or as close as it can get it?
Working on that. Again, calculation, now that we have more information, will still remain 6 years.
Only a year, really?
The repository is communicating with us in English, for the most part.
For the most part, you're correct. You got to keep in mind, what's the one way that you've been communicating with the device?
Written?
Right. What does the Praetor not have?
Hands?
It doesn't have hands. It would take someone working with the Praetor and the orb to translate it. That's the reason why it takes that long.
Well, now I just have to
Wait,
draw the Praetor as
wait.
a person is the thing.
Hang on.
Give it an android body.
Can we...
There we go.
Let's find out from the orb, is there a way that we can interface or connect it directly to the Praetor to allow
Like a plugin?
faster translation?
Where's the USB drive on this thing?
I feel like that's a bad idea.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
Where's the Wi-Fi connection?
I honestly feel
It's
like
got 5 gigahertz
Does
Wi-Fi.
this bitch have an aux cord?
I think at this point Nain and Nara are just so focused on the orb and talking to the Praetor they just don't acknowledge anybody else in the room.
Everybody else has wandered into the room with the exception of, well, even the captain. Like, where did everybody go? Like, looks around. They're all looking at the orb, which has its hatch open. They're drawing on it like it's some kind of weird etch-a-sketch.
Shake it. Maybe it'll clear it.
Rocka, 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 rocka. The words stop appear on the screen.
Please don't.
Great, my goldfish are dead. I hope you're happy.
Terrible.
So you're trying to find a way to interface with the device. Are you asking it, interface options, things like that? Okay. You ask for interface options, and you watch as the 6-inch screen is pushed forward. It actually leaves the orb, and just below it, you can see wires that are attached down to different ports. It looks as though they're not soldered, or they use a clip mechanism. And the only problem is that the matching clip array and plugins, you don't have the matching ones. So like generally whenever we use a 3.5 millimeter plug, it's circular. Or if we're using a SATA cable, it's got, it's rectangular, but it has holes. Or if you're using not a SATA cable, that's a different, that's the IDE cable. But a SATA cable is a single clip that looks in there, or we're all familiar with USB and how they look. None of these seem to match anything that you currently have on the ship. You would have to try to science a way to make it work.
I wonder if there's a
Do
way.
we actually want to plug alien tech into the ship directly?
That would be a good idea.
What is the worst that could happen, honestly?
The ship gets
So many
smart and
things.
murders us.
Nara
the ship's already
kind of
interfacing
just
in some ways.
Nara sets her hand down on like Nain's knee from where they're sitting on the floor in front of this thing, turns and looks at Skippy and says, "I wanted to go back into my fucking cryopod, but everybody was like, no, the orb, get the fuck out of my medical office, please."
Me.
Somebody needs a nap.
I didn't say anything about the orb.
Maybe she should go into cryo. Dang.
Yeah, damn.
Anger.
Everybody's
Girl.
like, oh, they all come up with a plan. Oh yeah, no, we're all gonna. She gets in, and they're like, okay, now that she's out of the way, go back and play with the orb.
Somebody's cranky.
That's
Eaten recently?
that's how you do the parenting job. All right, we're all gonna lay down for a nap, and
He
then
wakes
as
up
soon as
100
the
years
kids
later.
are asleep,
He's the only person on the ship.
Have we asked the orb if it's designed to interface with ships or stuff?
You have not.
Let's do that.
Affirmative. Primary purpose. Primary directive. Navigation.
I want to touch it. No, I'm kidding.
I want to touch it.
Okay.
Have we asked it if it knows how it wound up in space?
Its original ship exploded.
You have not asked it.
To be honest, we've been trying to figure out this whole translation issue first so that we're not missing anything.
I mean, it's going to take 6 years, isn't it?
Yeah, no harm in asking a few questions.
Not if we can get it interfaced with the damn ship.
I don't trust that.
I would like for both Nain and Nara to give me a science. Actually, Nara, give me science. Nain, give me electronics. No modifiers.
Oof.
Okay. Remember how I said that originally it had like a little typo, like the language was broken?
Mm-hmm.
Nara, you kind of noticed that a little bit of that seems to be lessening. Maybe you're just reading it. You know how you can read something and after a while you just kind of understand how it's written, so you automatically fill the gaps in.
Mm-hmm.
Nain, you recognize that it seems to have picked up on some of the nuances of your language as you've been communicating with it. It looks as though it's actually like no longer broken. It's actually, the language is actually starting to complete more.
So if we keep communicating with this, then it should
Right.
finish
Keep in mind,
the
you've been
English
asking
language.
Praetor.
I'm gonna ask Query, how many other species has this unit contacted?
How many other people are you talking to? Are we even special?
Why did you change your status to it's complicated? Okay, so you're asking it how many other species it has cataloged?
Like
Has been in contact with.
Yeah, like how many how many people has this orb hung out with?
This or hung out with.
Chilled with.
Are you basically asking how many partners it's had? Is that what you're asking the
Are
orb?
you
how many
asking the
partners?
sexual history of this orb?
When you interact with an orb, you're interacting with everything that orb.
How many partners have you had? The knowledge repository returns 22 different species.
Damn.
Not a virgin then.
Get. Were you created by one of these species?
Affirmative.
All right. How many of these species still exist?
It's a little touchy subject.
I don't want to get reapered.
No collected data on current status of all species. It is this unit's thought that they all still exist.
Thought?
Interesting.
So it's capable of having an opinion anyway.
Yeah. Or at least a summation of
facts.
Yeah.
Designation translated.
What?
You heard me, bitch.
That word, Tretimus, appears on the screen.
Are you Tritimus?
Affirmative.
What up?
Feels like you should have Prime behind that. I don't know what.
That's just our conditioning from years and years of Transformers. But how do we know he is the Prime?
Oof.
Tritimus Omega.
That's when
How did you come to be floating in space?
He ran away.
Ran away from home.
His parents didn't love him.
combat. Ship derelict. Jettison self. Extremely low probability of contact. Mobility in space, 9 negative. Chance upon the Praetor, extremely low. Nearly impossible.
Aww.
Most fortunate.
Just try this.
It's a miracle.
I love this orb.
It engaged the probability drive. No, I'm just kidding. The improbability drive was engaged. That's just what happens. No.
This orb is cute and I like it.
And that's when the death machines appear.
So its
I dreamed
primary
that.
But you're probably
function
not kidding.
is navigation, its failover is a defense system, and its tertiary purpose is a knowledge repository.
Right.
What sort of defenses does it have?
I mean,
Are you asking it?
you gotta ask it.
Yeah. I ride that with my
You shoulder over. Let me draw something on here.
Hey, boy, you got
Try to
guns?
Draws a little picture of a dog. Dog.
You draw. It draws a picture of a dog, unknown species. You draw. You ask it what defense is. It responds with cloaking and dampening field.
Okay.
Hide in plain sight.
Can I ask the thing a question?
Is it?
What are
What's
you
your
gonna
question?
ask it?
I was just gonna ask if it hurt when I shot it.
Oh yeah, we should tell it. We can't. We didn't mean to hurt it. Yeah. That's. Yeah.
Okay, can I write that?
Yeah. Yes.
Alright.
Please also inform it. You didn't mean to. You didn't intend to do damage if you did.
I mean, yeah, I'll do that after I find out whether it hurt or not. Did it hurt when I shot you?
I just imagined you write the word "hurt" as H-E-R-T.
No, it's bad. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
No. You write. Did it hurt when I shot you? Negative.
All right, fantastic. It's totally fine, everybody. Didn't hit it at all. Wait, one more thing. Do you have emotions? Send tweet.
Quentin, can you go feed the marine, please?
Tane, are you hungry?
I guess. Can I
Do
get
you
my
write that? Do you actually ask the Tridomestic
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
There's a few moments where it like sends several bits blank lines, which you can kind of get the idea that it's like thinking. Learning.
Is learning an emotion?
No.
Is it learning to emotion?
What emotions are?
Oh. Alright. Shit.
Emotions
Learning
are
about Aerosmith? I don't know.
Do
Alright.
you need well no, yeah, I'm done asking questions.
Do you have a map of where other
Civilizations?
species are planet or like civilized planets are?
It says affirmative, primary directive, navigation, tertiary directive, knowledge repository.
Quentin, it said something
Thank
about
you for your
navigation.
inquiry, Science Officer Name Collinson.
What the fuck?
I told him my name it's earlier, don't worry.
Alright.
Well,
Fine then.
True. You did tell it your name by writing it.
Wait, did it just say it?
No, it wrote it back.
Oh.
How did it know it was you writing it?
We all
Dun
got
dun
fingerprints.
dun.
And as we all question the orb in the science bay, trying to figure out what's going on now that it actually may have recognized someone through some method, that's where we're going to go ahead and draw to a close. Go ahead and prep next week for any other questions that you'd like to ask of the Tritimus.
All right.
In the
Y'all
meantime,
can't see
I
me
wanna thank-
dabbing, but it's happening.
We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We had Atlas playing Tane, who was with Jack playing Captain Marilyn. We had Maddie playing our medical officer, Kalinara. We had Jason playing Skippy, our ensign. We had V playing Quentin, our navigator. And Nain Collinson being played by Pelka. Well, thank you guys. We love you all. And until next time, have a great one and keep on spacing through space.